Okay, so Trump Trump has been shot. Let's maybe review some of the live coverages. So let me share this tab. So let's start with President Sunday. Let's see what he.
You end up doing worse because now that's the game. Now it's a competition not for who can like produce something good or solid or lasting. It's who can play the same wretched game better, and the game is determined by whoever did the worst thing because this perverse interpretation of past events is in. The most heinous thing imaginable was actually just the most practical thing that could be done. We were all just too scared to do it. And that's not the case. This is actually going to result in
I'm
this
not sure
this
what
this
he's talking
this may
about.
well be the thing that tips everything in favor of a Trump presidency winning.
This?
Yeah,
And there may be there. Yeah.
No.
And it's also worth
Trump is
remembering that
winning
this
either
is
way.
not. It's actually not itself going to end up being the news event. This isn't stuff actually happening. Horrifying tragedy and trauma, but at the same time,
Okay. Let's look at who's this? J Hot Topics.
I believe that Bill Clinton moving drugs in Arkansas, in
That's
Georgia.
nothing. Let's see the Crucible.
Left's been throwing everything they can at Trump. Nothing's really sticking. So this is the next step. They do not want Trump back in the top job. He'll do any. Listen, I'm going to say this again. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just reading your super chat. What I am saying is that these people seem like they will stop at nothing to keep Trump. I see ordinarily people who are sane and have decent takes about things, even on the left, who, when the mention of this guy comes up,
Let me just make sure this stream is good. Let me open the YouTube tab, see what it sounds like. I'm not sure it's good. Let me just make sure I'm using the right mic. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me tap this mic. Let me tap this mic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's quiet. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's assume it's okay. Let's continue. Yeah, I guess it is. Okay, let's continue listening. So Andrew Wilson, he says they're gonna. It sounds like it's coordinated. So he's a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, just a little bit. I mean, he's a Christian, so I guess that's part of it. He's living in a fantasy world.
This guy comes up, these kind of ordinarily normal-ish people lose their fucking minds. You remember how crazy it was, the Republican and right-wing never-Trumpers? They were crazier than the fucking progressives and still are. These people would have normally sane takes and just lose their fucking minds. It's like something about this guy would trigger them.
Yeah,
to the point
I
where
agree with that. Yeah, everybody's losing. A lot of people lose their minds around Trump for some bizarre reason. It's really weird. Okay, vegan gains with his nonsense. I guess he just drew Donald Trump for $5. Okay, Officer Tatum.
My earpiece live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I don't even have my earpiece. I don't know what I did with it. I think it's in the truck, actually. But I want to just address what's going on.
So this is
Donald
no
Trump.
longer
You know,
live. It looks like it's
I am so
pre-recorded.
upset right now.
Because the
Words cannot
countdown.
describe how infuriated I am. I'm thankful that Donald Trump is okay.
Yeah, he could have been killed. I mean, a bullet grazed his head. I mean, this is out of control.
Going
Um,
through an ordeal with which I'm very familiar.
Mr. Kennedy, when you witnessed that moment, I can only imagine what you felt personally, again, as Greg referenced, based on the history with your family. Also, you have been asking.
yeah, so they're interviewing RFK or like one of the candidates that's running for presidency. So in their family, there has been, I think, 2 assassinations.
On the history with your family. Also, you have been asking for your own Secret Service protection, which you have been denied. Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to make this moment about me, but I was with my dad when he died. Of course, I was very, very, I lived through my uncle's assassination in 1960.
So I don't know who his father and uncle. One of them is the president. One of them was a senator. The senator was actually assassinated by a Palestinian, I think. And the president was assassinated by a communist.
I lived.
Mhm.
Jake Paul, one of the largest influencers.
So there's no one joining us, and Discord, nothing. Okay.
Saviors of the world. They just make them bigger. Good beats evil every time. God beats evil every time as well. Incredible and powerful statements. A source from inside of the
CIA. Guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Let's talk about the security because.
Let me see if the audio is good. Okay.
inside of
CIA.
Megan Kelly.
CIA. Guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Let's talk about the security.
1 second. I can hear the echo.
CIA. Guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Let's talk about the security because I think a lot of people are wondering, how did a loaded rifle get anywhere near former President Donald Trump at an event like this? Buck, I'll start with you on it because this is, well, it's both of your lines of work, but how on earth could this happen?
Look, I've been, like so many others, just fielding texts ever since this happened, with the latest information and people trying to analyze how such a thing could go down just tactically. And already, I think the sense is that the Secret Service was slow, certainly, and perhaps missed one of the most obvious overlook points for there to be this kind of a shooting. Now, I wasn't at the rally, obviously, and I have to base this off of what's being shared, not just in terms of the videos alone, which are obviously very instructive because there's so many videos from different angles as to what went on here, but also it seems that the shooter on the rooftop was able to get up there. His rifle was visible to people nearby. There have been eyewitnesses talking about how they even tried to flag this to Secret Service. They were able to, once this guy opened fire, hit him with counter sniper fire. So that response was rapid. But how they could have missed, based on the schematic, if you will, of what this area looks like, where the buildings are, the blueprints, how they could have allowed anyone to get up on that building with a rifle, to me, it's clearly a massive error. I mean, when a president almost loses his life, or a presidential candidate and former president in this case, this was an inch or two from national catastrophe. So there was a clear failure here from the security protocols, and we're going to have to figure out how to make sure President Trump is safe going through this election, and hopefully beyond that one.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, we could have lost him tonight. Unbelievable.
It's not hold on, because there's one guy back there that looks like he fell. It's not this guy, right? I don't think it's him. I mean, the video is super. It's super grainy, so it's hard to tell.
Which is set to get underway tomorrow in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right, still no one watching and no one on Discord. Maybe after I cover the news, we'll debate a little bit on Discord.
Tuning in. It's 9 o'clock here on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. And we just want to update you with a quick recap of the breaking news that we've been covering for the past few hours.
I noticed that the president, after he was shot, so he told the Secret Service, hold on. And then he stopped and he raised his fist and he whispered something to the crowd. That was a terrible mistake for the Secret Service to listen to the president at this time. You don't listen to, that's not your job. He doesn't tell you what to do. At this point, you're supposed to cover him and rush him off. And instead they listened to him. And what is this nonsense? He could have been shot at this point. My God.
For the past few hours, we know that multiple shots were fired at a campaign rally today for Donald Trump in the key swing state of.
I remember somebody tried to rush his stage in the previous, in the original elections or in the elections against Biden. I don't remember, but this is not the first time.
For the past few hours, we know that multiple shots were fired at a campaign rally today for Donald Trump in the key swing state of Pennsylvania. The former president of the United States.
They should take him down. Why would they let him stand? The first thing to do is take him down to the ground and lie on top of him. That's the first thing you do. Why do you let him stand? He's so tall. They should be taller than him. It's like none of them is as tall as he. He's a 6'2" guy.
The former president of the United States and the presumptive Republican nominee for president.
That little girl, she's like 5'5". That doesn't make any sense.
Statements.
You can get a girl to protect the president, but she's got to be big. Hey, what's up? 1 second. Hey, how are you? Yeah, what's up?
You are not recording. You are not recording this, right?
Yes, I am. I'm live on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
Yeah. Do you want
Wow.
me to give you the link?
Just tell me the channel name. I'll search it.
No, it's called Mr. Slave, but here's the link to the current video. I'm doing live coverage. I was just going through all the live streams one by one, trying to get the latest information.
I see. By the way, are you religious?
No, I'm an atheist. I'm anti.
Oh,
I'm not.
you're an atheist.
I'm like. I'm worse than. I'm not anti-religious. I love religious people, but I believe that anyone who claims to be religious is lying.
Okay.
Do
I see.
you want to debate?
No, and what do you base your morality off?
I don't like using the word morality because it usually it denotes an objective morality, and there is no objective morality. Even if there is a God, there's no objective morality, whatever that God is. God doesn't get to dictate morality any more than me or you. So
But you still have some issues if against certain actions, right?
certain actions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
who?
an
Yeah.
egoist. I'm an egoist, so I don't. So my well-being is important to me, obviously. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be hurt. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to be raped. I don't want to be.
So basically, like your values boil down to your selfishness, and from there you make your moral values.
But I don't want to call these moral values. I'm actually
Okay.
I'm
Okay. Yeah. No, no, I see. Because you don't believe in objective morality, so there couldn't be that. Okay. So, but your values and your ethics, if you may call that, then you base it off of your selfishness, basically. I presume.
yeah. You could. I mean, I'm beginning to change my mind about using the word morality. I might start using morality and ethics to describe my values or how I prescribe for.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, it might make sense to call it morality and an ethical system. I'm gonna think about it. But anyway, the point
Mhm.
is the way it works is that I care about myself.
Mhm.
So I want to live in a in a society. I want to live
Mhm.
in I want human civilization to prosper, and I want to be part of a prosperous human civilization.
Mhm. Mhm.
So so I so in order to achieve this, I want to stand shoulder to shoulder with all good men to defend against evil.
Mhm.
So
So what you said good men, right? And
yeah,
so what would be good men, basically?
those that are like me that want to defend against evil. Evil just means to hurt people like me, good people.
Good people are selfish, right? That's the basis of what a good person is.
No, everybody's selfish. It's not me. I'm not different than anyone else. The way
So people, I guess, who want to live in a civilization and a good prosperous civilization,
yes,
those would be good people.
people who want humanity to prosper and want to be part of this prosperous human civilization. So so I prescribe that all good men, meaning such men, should stand shoulder to shoulder against evil. And this would optimize my life. And this
And
includes. Mhm.
and why do you want to live a long life, basically?
That's a given. That's like I don't have an answer to that. That's just that's a given. That's something that I want. I don't know why. I mean, it's because I enjoy my life. If I didn't enjoy my life, I want to quickly end it. But since I enjoy my life extremely, I want to prolong it.
Yeah,
Hmm?
yeah, but it is a losing battle, right?
What's a losing battle? What do you mean?
Because you have certainty that one day it will end, and even when you are trying to prolong it, there is no certainty that you would be able to have a long life, and there's a high chance that it would end very like in the near future. Like it can happen, right?
There is a probability, we know life expectancy. I expect to live, like the average person. So I have a few more years to live, statistically speaking. I take care of myself. I don't do anything dangerous. I am very careful when I drive.
Yeah.
I'm very.
I heard this. Okay, no, leave it. Leave
hmm What did you say?
it. Okay.
You said leave
No, no,
it.
no. Yeah, I thought of something, but no, leave it. Just leave it.
hmm
So, uh,
What?
well, what do you think about Eastern religions?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. What, like, give me an example.
All the religions in the Eastern Hemisphere, like east of Europe, basically. No, east of Middle East. Yeah, east of Middle East.
I honestly don't know. I don't know much about it. Like, give me an example of something they say.
Buddhism.
Yeah, give me an example of something Buddhism says. I don't know.
But if you haven't looked into it, then how can you say that every
What?
religious person is, yeah, like
Oh,
every religious person is,
no. No, no, no. What I meant is, I mean, if you believe in God, for example, then you're lying because everybody knows there's no God. There's no evidence for God. God is a hoax.
Indeed.
Excuse me?
I said indeed.
Yeah. So people that people that claim to believe in God, for me, are identical to people who claim to believe 1 + 1 is 3. If you claim 1 + 1 is 3, I know you're lying. I don't know what to do with it.
but they say they have faith in it. They
That's
don't.
like that's like me. That's like a person claiming 1 + 1 is 3, and he says, "Yeah, I have faith in that." No, he doesn't. He's lying. He doesn't have faith in that. He's just lying. That's pure evil.
I see.
Wait, do you hold to like Ayn Rand's views of things?
A little bit, yeah. I agree with a lot of the things she said, yeah, but not
Oh, that's
not
that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, not all. Certain things I disagree with her and with people that promote her philosophy.
Uh, wait, are you subscribed to their channel, Ayn Rand Center UK?
Yeah, of course.
Based.
Yeah, yeah. I watch
I mainly
basically.
just watch their. I mainly watch their like political, geopolitical streams. So it's like,
Yeah, I watch I watch a lot of objectivists. Even there was even an objectivist physicist teaching physics through an objectivist lens, and it's actually excellent.
Yeah. Have a good day, guys. By the way, see you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, Jack. Thank you. Bye. Anyway, Abu Abu
yeah, Abu
Lahan,
Lahab. Yeah.
Abu
No,
Lahab.
I'm basically like I do. It's a name I use to like troll Muslims. So it's like it's all good now.
So you're ex-Muslim?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you afraid for your life in real life?
No, I'm not. I do believe a lot of these threats. I understand the risks of what these. I understand what these people do, but uh, you know, a lot of it's just empty talk. I don't really care what these people say. I don't
hmm
care. It does not bother me to the least.
Because I've spoken to ex-Muslims who live in fear in real life. And in real life, they pretend to be anti-Jewish and anti-Israel and stuff like that. But
I'm literally the most pro-Israel person you'll meet. I'm more Zionist than actually a lot of Israelis. That's
yeah,
the crazy part. It's literally like it's to the point where I don't make excuses when people want to condemn Israel for something. I refute their claim and I'll tell them what it is. I don't make excuses, It's like,
Mm-hmm.
I know my stuff,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Then maybe we can debate. Then maybe we can debate October 7th, because
I've
I'm
made yeah.
because
What do you yeah.
because as far as I can tell, it's Israel who cre- Israel created the Hamas, and later
Are you talking?
Israel.
So, what aspect of October 7th, if you don't mind me, sorry for interrupting, but what aspect of October 7th are you skeptical about?
I'm not skeptical. It's like October 7th is basically. I mean, it's Israel did it to itself. I'm
In
not
what
saying
way?
because Israel kept funding the Hamas as the Hamas was collapsing financially. Israel panicked. The Mossad panicked and quickly rushed to Qatar and Israel and the Bibi. He called Qatar and he asked them to save the Hamas, and he had to convince Qatar to save Hamas. And he went to Qatar. The head of the Mossad was sent by Bibi to Qatar to get suitcases of cash, and he brought them to Gaza. And I don't know if he gave.
Suitcases?
Excuse me. Yes.
What article? What source is this? I'm
I
curious.
remember reading this from, newspaper headlines at the time, and I've actually debated this with multiple people, so they usually don't deny the fact. I debated
Yeah, I
people.
don't deny it. Yeah, BB's government is very corrupt, and yeah, I don't deny that funds have gone to Hamas. No one denies this. Yes, I admit this is well known.
Yeah. So the Hamas, I mean, after the Hamas was already firing rockets at Israel, after a few wars with the Hamas leading Gaza against Israel, the Hamas was collapsing. And Bibi sent the head of the Mossad to Qatar to bring money to save the Hamas. It's not like they brought money to save Gaza. No, 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 to save the Hamas. So,
Well, I don't really think it's about saving Hamas because they love Hamas. I think there are more strategic reasons for it. For example, it's look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay? It's just what I think happened was, from the way I view it, is I think it's due to mainly, you can disagree with me or not, but I think it's mainly because Israel for the past, I would say, few years has been under intense diplomatic and international pressure, not only from the UN, but also from the United States. For example, the Obama administration wasn't really favorable towards Benjamin Netanyahu or Israeli policies as Trump was. I would say Trump was the only US president that was quite favorable to Israel's interests in the past like decade or so. Obama and the Democrats were never really interested in this U.S. Israel alliance, from what I see.
yeah, I agree, but I would say that's irrelevant.
No, it is kind of relevant because it would obviously make sense because a lot of the funds that have gone to Gaza are mainly due to the fact that there is international pressure. Governments pressure Israel to conduct these acts of funding and construction and whatnot into the Gaza Strip. So,
but this is not a case like that which you're describing. I agree that some funding goes to Gaza. I would say especially UNRWA. UNRWA is they end up teaching the children to hate Israel, to hate the Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree that that's not a good thing, obviously. But October 7th could have easily
Mhm.
been avoided if Bibi would have let the Hamas government collapse financially, as the headlines said they were about to. So
Yeah, that could have happened, but but another aspect I don't think you've mentioned is that the fact that Gaza overwhelmingly supports the leadership. The leadership is very popular among the Palestinian populace. Even in the West Bank, a recent poll was published in which I think this was a few months back, in which many people believed the acts of October 7th were justified, and a lot of if the people in the West Bank, for example, were given the option to vote, they would be voting for Hamas. So it's not really necessarily just. I understand, yes, the financial aspect of it, but I don't think that's the only reason. Like I do believe even if the finance like stopped, they would still have a power in Gaza because they are mainly supported by the people. And I actually would argue, although many people disagree with me, that the people in Gaza as a collective are responsible for October 7th. So
I would
that's my
say
view on it.
what?
Yeah, so my view is that yeah, you have the financial issue.
Hello?
Yeah, that stuff. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can hear you. Yeah, I just didn't hear the last few words. I was about to respond, but I
All
was
right,
just
right.
gonna.
So my point
Mhm,
is, yes,
mhm.
the finance does enable and keep Hamas in power. Yes, this is true, and I don't think Israel should have even given Gaza back to the Palestinians to begin with. But um, that's not the only aspect to why they still consolidate, why they still hold power in the strip. It's mainly due to the fact that there is public support for the organization among the Palestinian population. Overwhelming majority of Palestinians support this terrorist organization, and I would argue they are overwhelmingly complicit in the acts of October 7th.
Right. So I would say that you cannot blame the citizens of Gaza, and maybe not even the Hamas, for October 7th, because you
Yeah,
have.
I
Wait,
understand the
wait,
Israeli
hold
government
on.
has
Mr.
issues
Slave,
with it.
Mr. Slave, are you streaming right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. I'll give the stream a like, okay?
What did he say?
Okay. No, I'm not debating this guy. This guy like refused to even let me
This
make
guy
a
ran
point.
away from the debate. It was so
No, I didn't
funny.
run
This
away
guy
from the debate because
ran.
you
You fucking
started
left the
muting me.
DCF getting fucking bitch.
Yeah,
It
you
was so
literally
funny. Holy
muted me. You
shit.
wouldn't even let me make an argument or
I
explain
didn't
my
ask you for an
position.
argument. You asked
I'm
me my
not
problems. I gave you
debating
my
you, dude.
problems. You didn't respond to
Yeah, I'm
anything I
not
said.
debating you, man.
Of course you're
you're
not debating me. You
dishonest.
can't keep up with me. You don't have the IQ necessary to debate me. Okay, it's hilarious
No,
how that works.
you're
I'm
retarded, man. That's what you are, man.
Okay, he went. I don't
Exactly.
know. Why did
Yeah,
he leave?
sorry for saying that. No, he DM'd me, right? And he's like, "Oh, come debate Zionism." And I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll debate it." And I was actually fine
Mhm,
with debating it, even though I'm not really in the mood to do that. And
mhm.
then he just starts DMing me, saying, "Stop DMing me." Even I told him, "Let's debate," right? And then I come into his debate room, he just starts muting me and like
Mm,
insulting me. And yeah, I'm not gonna debate that guy. You know, it's dishonest.
I understand. I understand. So no, but look, I would say that we cannot, in good faith, blame anyone in Gaza for October 7th. I know it sounds incredible, but I mean, once you understand that it's Israel who saved Hamas and funded Hamas and, saved it from collapse, that how can you blame anyone in Gaza for the result? I
Well,
mean,
what I blame, yeah. So I'll explain what I mean by they
how,
are complicit. Yeah. Can I just explain it?
You know, let me
Yeah,
give
go ahead.
you a
Go ahead.
let me give you an example. Like, imagine you
Mhm.
have a child. Are you eating?
Yeah.
Maybe you can just
I'm not eating.
mute.
No.
If you could just
No, no, I'm
mute.
not eating. No.
Oh, you're not eating? Okay.
No, no.
So imagine you have a son, a child, who's like a brat, and he misbehaves, and he's really violent and vile, just a terrible child. Never does what he's told, uncooperative, just a terrible child. So, but but he keeps misbehaving, but you keep giving him um money. Like, you get, what do you call it when you give children allowance? So
Yeah,
you
allowance.
keep
Yeah.
allowance. So you keep giving the child allowance. And
Uh-huh.
you never rebuke the child for anything. So, and then the child ends up, like, being more and more violent and more vile. And at one point, the child, actually hurts people and does something akin to an October 7th. I don't know, stabs his sister.
Uh-huh.
It's just another step in the deterioration of the behavior of the child. But how can you blame this child? This child has no reference to what is expected of them. It's like
Yeah,
they
but
never
yeah. Go ahead.
the child is never rebuked. The child is never incentivized to behave one way or
Uh-huh.
another. It's like the child is always incentivized to keep behaving the way it's behaving. How
Right.
can you judge such a child? So with the Hamas and the Gaza, I would say it's the same. I mean, I'm not even saying the whole world supports the poor Palestinians, the poor Palestine, but Israel also behaves as if the Palestinians are just the best, and Gaza is just the best, and yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. Sometimes Israel attacks. Really, really with pinpoint. Like, we're only going to kill very few people, only the very bad, the very worst people. But in general, Israel incentivizes the Hamas to keep misbehaving. And
Yeah. Can I explain
but
that though? Can I? Can
j-
yeah?
j-
Let me just
j-
explain. Yeah. Go ahead.
I,
Go ahead.
I'll let you speak as much as you want.
Uh-huh.
But my worry is that it's like, I'm trying to think, what is the motivation of the Mossad and the Israeli government? What's motivating them to support the Hamas? It's like, why would you support the Hamas? And I don't know if it's subconscious or it's stupidity, but it could be a subconscious that they actually like this Hamas and this enemy, because it's convenient for politicians to say, oh, look at, we're being attacked. It's good for any person. It's actually a syndrome. It's called Munchausen. So in Munchausen, you seek sympathy through hurting yourself, either directly or indirectly. Indirectly is if you, like, hurt your children to get sympathy, but sometimes Munchausen is direct. There was this ballerina, she cut off her legs because she said, there's the pain, the pain, the pain. There was never any pain, it was fake. But she was getting so much sympathy that she ended up cutting off her legs, surgically. So, people sometimes they behave in ways that, we find absurd, but it makes sense. So it could be
Yeah.
that. In any case, You cannot just come and say the Gaza is evil. No, you can't. That's ridiculous.
You
Absolutely
can.
ridiculous.
Yeah, well, you can because, well, hold on, before I make that argument, can I just ask, like, in what example, when you use that example, right, who are you exactly referring to?
The Israeli government, the Mossad, the leadership, and even the average Israeli. I mean, they get sympathy from the world for October 7th. They got sympathy. This is addictive. They're addicted to, this is Munchausen. This is textbook Munchausen.
Okay, can I
Sometimes,
respond to that?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So my point is, even if you were to dismantle Hamas, and I'm just saying, even if you were to dismantle the organization, that's not going to change anything, right? So even before you had the idea of Hamas existing, the Palestinian population was already radical. And the notion you said, well, God, it's because Gaza is evil. Well, I'm not arguing that they're just doing it, because Gaza just, no. I'm not painting it in a black and white situation. What I'm arguing is that, yes, the Israeli government has made some fuck ups in funding these people, unfortunately, and conceding and getting back Gaza to them, right? But again, there are more factors to play in it, right? Because again, you have generation after generations that have been taught Jew hatred, that have been taught anti-Semitism, that have been taught these fabricated myths about their history. And UNRWA, let me just respond to this. UNRWA continues feeding into that. I mean, if you'll notice, one thing is there are no other refugee agencies for specific groups of people. There's no specific refugee agency for Iraqis or Syrians.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not done making my point though.
No, it's fine. I'm look. We have the same data, me and you. I mean, we watch the same shows. I mean, I'm sympathetic to Israel. I'm not being unsympathetic. I'm trying to, but I'm going one layer deeper.
Yeah,
see, most pro-Israeli analysts, they say Gaza is evil, and that's ridiculous. You're not going to solve anything. That is that. What do you mean Gaza is evil? What do you mean? What? The Palestinians
When they
in
refer
Gaza?
to Gaza being evil, no. When they refer to Gaza being evil, I believe most of them simply refer to the leadership in that enclave. They're not necessarily referring to the entirety of the populace.
No,
because I've spoken to most Israelis, right? The majority of them don't have any grievances with Gazans. Okay, they don't really have a problem with Gazan people in general. When they refer to Gaza being evil and whatnot, and this is from what I know, it's mainly referring to the leadership in that area.
Could everybody, Tommy Gunn, can you please mute? We can hear the noise from your side. Tommy Gunn?
What?
You're making
what
noise.
about, man?
We can hear the
What
background noise.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's okay. Go ahead, Abu Lahab.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily because all Gaza is evil. No, the leadership is what controls. I mean, the leadership has the final say. What I argued earlier was that, yeah, although I'm not saying the entirety of Gaza engaged in October 7th. What I mean by they're complicit is they basically enabled this government. They keep on supporting it, and a lot of them have favorable views to it. Okay, I'm not saying they're necessarily evil. Again, I'm not saying they're necessarily evil. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that the majority of the population has this radical jihadist mentality, which most of them are simply brought up into it. Okay, so it's like a cultural thing. It's something that is part of their identity. It's first, Go ahead.
Yeah. So we agree that the average citizen in Gaza has been radicalized. So
yes,
but he didn't radicalize. He has been radicalized by someone else. So we cannot blame the average citizen of Gaza for misbehaving for, October 7th. Even you would agree that even if an average citizen in Gaza took part in October 7th, you can't really blame them because they've been radicalized.
Yeah, they've been radicalized, but the thing is, what I'm arguing is that even before this radicalization exists, even before Hamas existed, the radicalization has always been there. Even before the creation of the state of Israel, the Arabs always had this hostile view towards Jews. It's something inherent to Islam, to the Islamic scriptures, and to Pan-Arabism, the idea of Pan-Arabism. So, yeah. The Jew hatred is not something that just popped out of nowhere. This is a long history of anti-Semitism.
Look, I mean, sure. I mean, yeah, but look, let me ask you a question. Why is
sure.
Gaza? Why did Gaza conduct October 7th? What's special about Gaza? Why didn't any other Arab in Israel or Palestinian or a person who identifies as a Palestinian? There's many of them inside Israel, in the West Bank, and and so forth. Why didn't they conduct October 7th? Why are they not conducting October 7th right now? I mean, these are according to you, it's Islam, it's the scriptures, it's historical. So why is Gaza special? Well, what's going on with Gaza? Just like you have to explain this phenomenon. This is like a scientific phenomenon. Like all other parameters are identical. We're controlling for every variable except for Gaza. But Gaza, what kind of a variable is Gaza? I mean, what is different? There's got to be something that's different about Gaza that's causing October 7th. Otherwise, we're being unscientific. I mean, you have to find the variable. What is the variable that's causing? What, you left? I don't believe it. I thought we were having a good discussion. Oh my God. Why would he leave? He was such a nice guy. I was enjoying the conversation so much. We were on the same side. But even he couldn't handle it. An ex-Muslim couldn't handle it that I am criticizing, that I'm unwilling to criticize the Gazans for October 7th, what they did on October 7th against the Jews, the Israelis. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, it's bizarre, but that's the way it is. Okay, let's maybe continue until somebody else comes in. Let me change the name of the room again to something less radical. Set name live Trump shot. No, let's just discuss Trump shot. Did it change it? This command is currently on a cooldown. I don't get this thing. There's an expiration 7, 8. Wait, when can I run this command again? This command currently on a cooldown. Okay, whatever. All right, let's continue the live coverage. The live coverage. I think this was it. Share this tab. All right, continuing the live
former president of
coverage.
the United States and the presumptive Republican nominee for president has been injured.
This
but
is so
Secret Service
dangerous.
tonight
This is
says
so
he is safe.
dangerous.
He himself has issued statements to that effect, talking about what he has described
Unbelievable.
as minor injuries to his ear.
He felt the bullet. I mean, as soon as we heard the first shot, he immediately touched his ear. It's like someone pricked his ear with a pin, but a bullet grazed his head. This is unbelievable. That is such a close call.
Injuries to his ear. CBS has
So he actually has damage to his ear. Oh my God, he's gonna actually have a scar probably.
injuries to his ear. CBS has learned from law enforcement sources that the shooter was killed by a Secret Service counter-assault team. Sources say the shooter, who used a rifle, was acting from outside the security perimeter, something that Secret Service themselves confirmed. Secret Service also said the shooter was standing on an elevated platform. We know from some reporting that that was a shed. A rally attendee who was there to support Donald Trump was also killed. The former president posted about his own injuries on social media. He said he wanted to extend his condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person.
That's outside the security perimeter? That's so close. That's like 100 yards. I don't know. That's like less than a football field. What is going away? What's going on?
Family of another person that was badly injured.
You could see the person lying down. Oh my God.
As Sam mentioned earlier, a male suspect. They're still gathering more. You mentioned the former president has left the hospital right now. Secret Service has already added more manpower to his detail, bolstering the security footprint to him and all other U.S. Secret Service protectees. That means not just the former president, but his family, the president, the vice president, White House officials, as a standard operating procedure. Right now, Secret Service also leading efforts to
At this point, they need to bend him over. At least. I would tell him to lie down. There's shots fired. Lie down. Lie down. Oh my God. Wait, let me change the name of the show to live coverage again. So this is live Trump shot. Okay. Yeah, this is pre-recorded.
Had to, they're not coming home to their families tonight. It's disturbing, and it shouldn't happen in this country.
Let me ask you.
Okay, we have somebody. Hello? Oh, you're back.
So what was your question again?
Oh, I was surprised that you left. Oh my God. So my question was,
I didn't leave. No, my phone died.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you were talking about why Gaza specifically.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think there are multiple factors to why Gaza specifically. I mean, because again, you also have a Palestinian presence in the West Bank. But okay, so
Yeah.
the question is, why not the West Bank? So the problem is, in the West Bank is not Gaza, right? So Gaza is more open in the sense that the Palestinians have more authority over the West Bank than they do in Gaza. Excuse me, sorry, I'm I'm mixing it up. The Palestinians have more authority in Gaza than they do in the West Bank. Um, I mean, they have their own government in Gaza. They have their own like ministries and whatnot. Now, of course, now the argument will be, well, what about the Palestinian Authority? Yeah, okay, you have the Palestinian Authority, but the thing is, the Palestinian Authority is cooperating with Israel and the United States based on the Oslo Accords. Um, the Palestinian Authority gets a lot of aid from Western countries which are sympathetic to Israel. And you also have the settlements in the West Bank. I don't really call them settlements, I just call them residencies. So if there was sort of, let's say, an attack against Israel, launched from the West Bank, it would be a much more difficult situation for the Palestinian terrorist groups because they would be met with a lot of force, a much heavier force than that in Gaza. Because number one, you not only have the IDF and other factions of the Israeli government and whatnot involved. You have the Jewish residents, right? And a lot of these Jewish residents are armed, right? So if the Palestinians and the West Bank were to engage in some sort of act of terrorism, they basically these Jewish residents would be the first line of defense, and then comes the IDF, right? In Gaza, that's not really the case. Now, of course, the popular claim is, well, it's an open air prison, whatnot, but
Wait,
Gaza
hold on.
is less. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay, I understand. So let me just steelman your position. So you're saying the human, let's call it the human material, is the same. The hatred towards the Jews is the same. Let's compare the Palestinians in the West Bank to the Palestinians in Gaza. You're saying, okay, it's the same humans. The Palestinians are the same as in Gaza, and they hate the Jews just as much. And now I'm confused. So the Palestinians, I'm trying to steelman, and I'm already, I can't even complete the sentence. It just doesn't fit the data. So the Palestinians in the West Bank are basically free roaming. They live side by side with Jews. They could so easily commit acts of terror. It's a joke. They live side by side. I mean, there's Jews living in this town, and next town, down the street, down the highway, or whatever way, there's an Arab village. And then again, another town, another Jewish town, another Palestinian town. And these towns are very close to each other. You could easily go and they all use the same highways.
Yeah. So
And you
I
can
can
see
explain that.
I can't even steelman your position. It doesn't make any sense. They could so
I'll
easily.
explain it. I'll
Okay,
explain it.
okay,
So yeah. So what I'm trying to explain is that yes, they do have the same hatred, and this is well known. This is actually a well known fact. I can even get you a report published by the Ministry of Religious Affairs of the Palestinian Authority, where they actually
I grant
advise.
you, I grant you the hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
where?
so
So
what exactly is
where
your
are
question though? Like I'm
given?
still kind of trying to get through that.
No, but given the hatred, given your premise, I give you the premise, which of course in real life I reject. But let's give you the premise. Why are there basically zero terrorist acts in the West Bank?
There actually is, but they're not. There actually is in the West Bank. Yeah, they are.
Basically zero. Basically zero. You know, like
Yeah. So mhm.
yeah.
That's not entirely true. Yeah, I
What?
will grant you. Yes, there are. That's not entirely true. I'll
They
explain
live
why.
side
So
by side. They live side by
yeah,
side. They use the
I
same high.
understand that.
So according to you, they
I
wouldn't use the
understand
same
that.
high if it was so dangerous. They wouldn't. They wouldn't use the same highways. They wouldn't. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
dude, I'm explaining what I'm trying to say is there is a heavy military presence in the West Bank. This is well known, and there are certain times where the IDF will conduct military operations in places like Jenin and Nablus. That's number one. Number two, why Gaza? Well, again, the groups there are many militant groups in the West Bank, right? But they don't have the same military capabilities as Hamas does. Hamas not only runs an entire enclave free of any Jewish presence, they also receive the funding which you mentioned before. And yes, Israel was sort of complicit in that, right? But again, they also receive weapons from places like Iran. And many of the weapons they smuggle are from tunnels they have built, right? And the Sinai Desert, the Sinai Peninsula, isn't that secure. Okay, there's not much of a military presence there, so it's quite easy for Hamas to just immediately just smuggle stuff in, because there isn't much of a watch on that. There's not enough monitoring, and I'd argue, you may disagree with me on this, but I'd argue that the Egyptian government, I do believe it's in their it's in their geopolitical interests to see Hamas remain in Gaza. That's what I think is the
Wait,
case.
who?
In the West, yeah. Sorry,
Wait,
go ahead.
who wants the Hamas to? In whose interest is it the Hamas stays?
Egypt has sort of an interest for Hamas to remain in Gaza. They have an interest with regards to that.
Why?
So this is based on research done by a Egyptian journalist, Magdi Khalil. I can send it to you.
No,
So
no,
what
no,
he
no,
explains,
no
yeah.
sources, no sources. I trust you. Go ahead.
Why? No,
I
no,
just want.
I
I
want
just
you to
want no,
verify
and
my
no, no, no,
sources.
no. I don't want. What do you call it? Appeal to authority. I just want to hear the idea. If you just give me the idea, it's good enough. Convince me with ideas. I'm looking for an explanation. Let me hear
Yeah.
the explanation.
So I do believe. So again, Egypt, as we know, doesn't have much of a good relationship with Israel. They have a cold peace, and it's within Egypt's military doctrine that Israel is considered an enemy, right? So, and again, but the thing is, Egypt can't really go to war with Israel because they'd be fucked by the United States because they rely on a lot of aid from the US. And the last time they tried that with Israel, they pretty much failed. So what I think is the case is, I think what they're trying to do. Well, again, I'm not saying they're favorable towards Hamas, but I do believe that for Hamas to remain in power, this would be in the best interests of the Egyptian government. And I do believe there are some instances. Of course, this is just how I view it. You can disagree with me or
Wait,
not.
I did. Hold on. I did not understand how it is in the interest of Egypt that Hamas stays in power in Gaza.
Yeah, I'm explaining it to you.
You didn't finish. Okay. So what's it?
Yeah.
Could you say it in a short sentence? Because I'm getting lost in the.
So it
the
can have.
details.
So they would like to have leverage over how things are run in that region. So
what?
Hamas is basically sort of a
Hamas is
sort of useful
Hamas.
to it.
Hamas is like a Muslim Brotherhood or something,
I
right?
understand that. But
Muslim,
it's
Muslim,
still in
Muslim.
their interest.
One second. Muslim Brotherhood is the enemy of Assisi, whatever the general who
Yeah, I know.
was running.
And that. What I'm
So,
saying, I'm not saying.
so you
Notice how I said. Yeah.
okay?
I said before that Egypt doesn't view Hamas or the Muslim Brotherhood in a favorable way. Yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood is banned in Egypt. Yes, but it is. I do believe it is in the best interest of Hamas to remain. It's in the best interest of the Egyptian government for Hamas to remain in power.
How?
How? Well, number one, guaranteed that guaranteed in the last few decades when Israel took the Sinai, right? Hamas is sort of like a counterfeit. It's like a bulwark towards Israel. Now, I'm not saying Egypt is necessarily like directly cooperating with Hamas. No, but they have some sort of leverage. They have some sort of say in what happens in Gaza, which is why time and time again, whenever there's a conflict between Israel and Hamas, Egypt, as well as Qatar and the U.S., but mainly Egypt, has always facilitated and had a say in how these negotiations and how these ceasefire agreements are made.
I honestly, I don't see it. I don't see, honestly, I don't see how Egypt has any advantage gets anything from Hamas making this, I mean, destabilizing the region. What is Egypt getting out of this? I don't see it. Honestly, I honestly don't see it.
I've
But
explained it gives them
no,
leverage. So
I don't.
go ahead.
No, you said, and I don't honestly, I don't see it. I just don't see it. And
Yeah,
also,
you don't
but
have.
also,
I can send you
no,
the
but
source. I can send
no,
you the
no,
source.
no, 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 no. But also, listen, also, Egypt is not doing anything to Gaza. What is Egypt is funding Hamas? No, Israel is
No,
funding
I never
Hamas.
said that. I never
So
said Egypt
so
is funding
eh,
Hamas. I never said that.
so okay, okay. Look, I'm looking for what is different. It's like it's like name the trait. You know, when you debate vegans, they say, you know, the name the trait. Like, what's different about Gaza? Name the trait that makes Gaza different. I mean, we see Gaza behaving differently, but name the
Yeah,
trait that
I already
causes.
explained that to you. I already explained
You
that to you.
did? How? What?
Yeah, I explained. Yeah, so what I mentioned was the West Bank is a much more complex situation than Gaza because the West Bank isn't really united on anything, right? There's multiple political factions and armed factions in the West Bank. They are all in conflict with one another. So
let me ask you.
Of course, it's not really in their interests to just automatically go attack Israel because they'll be fucked. And then you have the Jewish presence, which we all know. You can verify my claims. They're called quote unquote settlements. This would be
No,
considered the
I'm
first
lost.
line of defense.
I'm lost.
How are you lost, dude? How are you not getting this?
What are you blaming me? I'm trying. I'm honestly. No, I'm look.
Yeah.
What? I'm honestly trying to understand. I'm not. What you? I'm getting paid by one side or the other. But I don't even know. I don't even know who the sides are at this point. I'm just trying to understand. We have a scientific phenomenon. We call it Gaza. But this phenomenon, there's no traits that should make it different than any other regions on the planet that should cause it to behave this way. We have Palestinians all over the world. They don't behave like this. Only Gaza. What's so special about Gaza? What the heck is going on here? It's not like we only have Palestinians in Gaza. No, we have Palestinians inside Israel, not even in the territories in the West Bank. You have Palestinians everywhere, all over the world, and they're all nice people. In Gaza, they do October 7th. What you really have? This is a scientific phenomenon that needs a scientific explanation. That's what I'm saying. You muted yourself. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain it to you. Like, do you not get it or something? What I'm explaining is, I don't know if you remember what I said, but the thing is with Gaza, they have higher military capabilities. Yeah, the military capabilities are shit, but they are much more advanced compared to like the military capabilities armed groups have in the West Bank, right? Like for example, an armed group in the West Bank, okay, they can just attack let them try and attack Israel. Like, okay, but they're not going to be successful in it. We don't have the same capability, right? They're not capable of launching an attack like October 7th. We're not capable. We don't have the same capabilities as Hamas. This is just well known, man.
Okay. So, you know what? Fine. So, why is Israel not? I mean, Israel has Palestinians everywhere. Israelis and Palestinians are intermingled, basically. Towns are next to each other. They use the same highways. In certain cities, there's Palestinians living literally in Jewish neighborhoods. There's mixed neighborhoods of Arabs and, I mean, Palestinians. You want to call them Arabs, but you can call them Palestinians and Jews living in literally in the same neighborhoods, in the same cities. In the cities, certainly in the cities, you have intermingled neighborhoods. So
right.
So so why is Israel So Israel sees that Gaza is different. So, as a scientist, I would
Yeah,
say,
Israel.
okay, as a scientist, I'm now an Israeli scientist, and I'm saying, I have an interesting scientific phenomenon. I have Palestinians living literally everywhere on the planet with Jews. There's Palestinians in America living in neighborhoods side by side with Jews. So we have Palestinians living literally all over the planet side by side with Jews. No problem. No problem anywhere on the planet. Everything is terrific.
Okay.
Except for Gaza. Oh, okay. So we have Gaza. Gaza is
Yeah,
different.
but this is a this
No,
the problem with your reasoning is you
No, no.
fail to take into account you fail to take into account
I
the
understand.
fact that
under-
I'm trying to explain it. I'm trying to explain what you're
I
getting
under-
wrong is
I
that
understand.
when you
Look,
Palestinians in America are not as radicalized as someone who lives in the West Bank or Gaza. This
That-
is just well known, man.
Okay, that's fine. So look, I grant you everything. Everything you said, I grant you everything. I'm switching hats. I'm an engineer. So engineers they don't do scientific research. They say, okay, we have Gaza, Palestinians that are different than, for some reason, we don't know why. No, we're dumb. We don't know why. Whatever the reason is, we don't know. But everywhere on the planet, Palestinians and Jews, in America, Palestinians and Jews get married. So we have
Okay.
Palestinians and Jews, and also in the West Bank, also in Israel, there's Palestinians and Jews marrying each other. There's a famous Palestinian Muslim that is married to a famous Jewish person in Israel. They're both celebrities, and she's on television. She's she's a news anchor, and he is in Gaza. He is a soldier in Gaza. It's a high profile story. So I mean that's Israel. So we know Palestinians are not. There's no genetic issue. It's not the. It's
I
not
never said
the,
there was.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we know Palestinians and Jews can very nicely live together. There's no issue with that. And there's Palestinians that are very Zionist. They love Israel more than the Jews. So we have that too. Okay. And knowing all of this, we have this phenomenon called Gaza. So, I'm, as a dumb person, I would say, I'm dumb. I'm not smart. I don't know what's causing this Gaza phenomenon. You know what I'm going to do? Since everywhere else on the planet, Jews and Arabs, Jews and Palestinians love each other, let's modify however Gaza is different, let's remove that difference.
Okay.
So, however Palestinians live in the West Bank, that's how they should live in Gaza. So, for example, I don't think at the West Bank you have this crazy fence around the West Bank. There is a fence separating the West Bank from Israel proper, but in the West Bank you have Jews and Arabs, Jews and Palestinians living together. So either reintroduce Jews into Gaza, I would just say make every modification to Gaza to make it like at least the West Bank, and preferably like Israel proper. So
Right.
whatever the difference is, remove the difference.
Okay, can I explain that? Can I speak?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. Here's the issue with your argument is you are not taking into account the circumstances in which these Palestinian populations live in. The Arabs in Israel do not consider themselves Palestinians to begin with. They just consider themselves Arab Israeli, right? And they undergo a completely different educational system. They have a completely different worldview and a completely different perspective on the matter than a Palestinian in Gaza or the West Bank. That's number one. Number two, yes, I understand that there are some Arabs that are intermarried with Jews. Yes. you are missing the most important component in the whole argument, which is it's about who runs these areas, who is in authority, who is educating these people. What are these people being taught in their schools? What are they being taught in their communities? That's what I think you fail to understand.
So I'm saying change it. Change everything. So not just that. Not only do we know the Jews and Arabs can live with each other peacefully, Jews and Palestinians. Actually, in the history of Gaza, Gaza itself used to never have a fence around it. And there were Jews and Gazans living together side by side in towns. And, these towns were not getting massacred. They were living side by side. Until Sharon, he did the disengagement, and he forcefully took the Jews out of the Gaza Strip and sealed off Gaza. And basically, since then, Gaza has been radicalized. It's like this is either it's stupidity to the extreme, or it's purpose. It's on purpose.
No, it isn't, because it's about who is running that area.
But why was it sealed off? Why were the Jews pulled out forcefully? These Jews didn't want to leave. Right? These Jews, the entire Israeli military was involved in removing the Jews from Gaza. People living in.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like since then things have deteriorated. Like, I don't think Gaza was firing rockets at Israel before the disengagement. I think immediately after the disengagement, Gaza started firing. So
that's because Hamas did not have the same capability as they did before they took control of Gaza.
So who changed? Who changed Gaza? Did Gaza change Gaza, or did the Jews change Gaza? If the Jews changed Gaza,
that's why I said in the beginning of my statement that I disagree with what they did in 2005 when they left Gaza. They should have never done that.
So how can you blame Gaza when Gaza was modified by the Jews to become this madhouse? It's like imagine I'm a normal person and everything's fine.
Okay,
Hold on. Imagine I'm a normal person and everything is fine, and then you come and you remove everyone that I'm communicating with, and you seal me off in my house.
Okay.
And I lose my mind, and I start firing. I start throwing things out the windows, and I'm losing my mind. I don't have communication, and I don't have a normal life, and I keep getting support, financial support from you. You keep financially supporting me, and I'm going crazy, and I'm losing my mind. I'm yelling out the window, throwing things. And then one day, after years of losing my mind, the door is open, and I run out, and I start, attacking people. So are you going to blame me for this, or are we going to blame you for this? Of course I'm going to blame you for this. Of course I'm not different than any person in the world. If I lose my mind, I didn't cause me to lose my mind. Whatever you did to me, you caused it. At least take the responsibility. Don't blame me. You did this intentionally. Or at least you're an idiot that you did it. Take responsibility and say, oh my God, I made this mistake. Let me fix it. Or put people on trial who did this and shoot them in the head. I don't care. But the last thing you want to do is say, the last thing I expect you to do is say that the victims who you sealed off like animals in a zoo, they're guilty. That is insanity. That's insanity. How can you do that? How can you be what?
Your argument is just simply painting the situation in a black and white issue. You're simply just pointing it. You're just simply, You're portraying it as if like it's only Israel, and like, yeah, like let's completely forget about the fact that Hamas teaches, Hamas's charter, what it teaches, the history of terrorist attacks they conducted even before the disengagement in 2005. Hamas was still carrying out terrorist attacks. Palestinians were still murdering people. If you know someone called Marwan Barghouthi, he was responsible for murdering Israeli civilians. This is before any of this happened.
Fine. I mean, look, but who created the Hamas? Who funded them to
Marwan
begin with?
Barghouthi is not Hamas, dude. This is
I don't
not
know.
just a phenomenon of Hamas.
Okay, look, fine. I don't know. So I'm not talking about individuals. I don't know anything. I certainly don't know specifics. I know
No,
basic.
because even if you were to remove Hamas, you would still have the same thing. You would still have the same
Don't.
ideology.
I'm
Even
not
the
saying.
secular.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
remove Hamas. I'm saying just don't fund them. What I consider Gaza. Gaza is just another case of big government getting involved with things they should not get involved with, and everything falls apart, and the worst case scenario materializes, and that's it. That basically, in 2 words, that's government. And I'm so surprised. Me and you, we listened to the Iron Rand show and Objectivist. The first thing these people should say, that's government. It has nothing to do with Jews, with Arabs, with Palestinians, with nothing to do with any of this nonsense. This is just government. Big government interjecting itself into places it should not be in, removing Jews from Gaza. Why would you ever do that in 1,000,000,000 years? How is that any of your concern? Who are you to do that? Where else in the world did a government remove Jews? Jews! Jews! Who does this except for the Nazis? Who does this?
Yeah. Okay. You done?
So basically, I mean, look, that's what I would say. I would say Gaza is just Harry. I think you're.
Yeah, I know it's catastrophic. Yes.
No. It's government, and we need. Look, it's always. It's like the libertarians and the objectivists. When government makes these mistakes, this is not the first time that a government makes a mistake, and instead of the libertarians and the objectivists pointing the finger at big government, this is just big government. That's it. Nothing to do with nothing else explains Gaza. Just big dumb government. Idiotic.
Okay.
The head of the Mossad, this idiot probably gets like $1 million a year salary. He has pension. Yeah, what does he care? And he just, nilly-willy decides, he's getting paid $1 million a year. He's got to do something with them, to be worth. So he has to come up with this super, super smart. We cannot let the Hamas collapse. This idiot.
Are you talking
What?
about the Likud party?
I'm not even talking about politicians. This is dumb Secret Service. That's the problem with Secret Service. Secret Service, like, no one knows what they're doing. No one knows why. No one can criticize them. So the head of the Mossad, he decides to say that we have to save the Hamas. We have to save the Hamas. Okay, this guy needs to be executed. This guy needs to be taken out for what he did. No one disagrees that he caused this mess.
Yeah, okay, I agree that the Israeli government has a responsibility.
I'm not even saying it's the Israeli government. I'm just saying it's government. This is the nature of government. That's the
but
nature.
in this context, we would be referring to the Israeli government, would we?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
We
in this
shouldn't.
context, right? So we're talking about Israel. So we're talking about the Israeli government. Yes,
I'm
the
not even
Israeli
talking about the
government has.
government. I'm talking about, the entire edifice. It's the Mossad. It's the entire idea of a secret service, that it's secretive and
Yeah,
and
the Mossad
and it's
gets
not
its orders from the government. The,
sure.
it's a government agency.
Yeah. No, but but it's secret. It's secret. It's secretive. It's the most secretive thing in the universe. So it doesn't, it doesn't see the light of day. No one knows what these idiots are doing, and these idiots, they destroyed the world. These
Okay.
idiots. That's it. We should
Yeah.
point a
Yeah.
finger at
Okay.
the right. And I'm so upset every time I'm listening to people like you that are you say I'm a Zionist. It doesn't help Israel to defend Israel when Israel is guilty. You're not doing Israel a favor. This needs to be
Well, I have.
fixed.
You don't. That's just. But you're assuming that I unconditionally support everything Israel does.
No, no,
That's
no,
the
but
problem. I never
no, but
said that everything
fine.
Israel does is good. Everything Israel does is infallible, and
No, but
we must not question it. No,
it
I have
doesn't.
criticized certain
No,
Israeli
but it
policies
doesn't.
multiple times.
Fine. No. But when I ask you, Gaza guy, you're not saying it's the Mossad did this. This is the
Yeah.
classic
Okay.
mistake.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
but
Can I explain?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't deny that the government of Israel is responsible for, the situation in Gaza. I don't deny this. What the problem is, you're simply leaving out a lot of multiple, or you're leaving out multiple factors that are part of this equation. That's the issue with your argument.
Name one.
You're not
Name
taking into
just one. Name
consideration the
just one.
complexity of the
Name one.
situation there. Name
Name
one. So you have
one
Ottawa, you
variable.
have the
Name
government
just
running
one.
Gaza. Those are
Hold on.
other things.
Hold on.
Uh,
Name
Go
just
ahead.
one. Take the most important variable. Let's just discuss one variable. Let's hear one variable. The most important one variable.
Okay. So you have Hamas.
Okay. Hamas, we
What about
agree.
Hamas?
Hamas, we agree, was created by the Israeli government. That's headline. And we know exactly
Yeah,
why
but
they
is it
did it.
part of the Israeli government though?
Whatever. Hamas, we know, is not a variable that I'm not taking into consideration. Hamas is the variable that I am taking into consideration. There's a desk in the Mossad, and it's called Hamas. It's a Mossad desk. The Mossad is the Hamas. The Hamas is the Mossad. Everyone
Not
agrees.
entirely, but okay.
Yes, it's headline. This is, of course, entirely, completely.
Yeah, Israel
The
does fund. Yeah, the Israeli
Hamas.
government has
Let me
funded
just
Hamas.
let, let
Yes,
me
this is
let,
true.
let me just.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
I'll
man.
just
This is-
wait. Let me just give you a punchline. The Hamas is a Mossad operation. It's a Mossad operation. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, but it existed it existed before October 7th or its power in Gaza. You're aware of this.
The
Yes,
Hamas
that's
originally
how
was
they
a
get what they wanted.
what?
It's in the Likud party charter.
What?
I mean, they said they have to like prop Hamas to bolster, or bolster the support of Hamas to get what they want.
No,
To get the land.
that's not why they support. That's not why they sort of propped up Hamas. No, it's mainly because they already had a problem with the PLO at the time, so they
Yes,
used it as a
exactly.
counterfeit to the PLO.
No
It's
one
not because
talks
they
about the
love
PLO.
Hamas and it's a good thing. No,
So what problem did they have with the PLO then?
the PLO at the time was the main threat to Israel. The
In what
PLO
sense?
was the one that was carrying out acts of aggression against Israel at the time, not Hamas. The PLO
were the
existed
only
prior
ones
to
working
Hamas.
towards the Oslo Accords.
That was only in the 90s. That was not their official policy
Yes.
before the 90s.
It's always been their policy.
No, that's only during the 90s. The PLO existed prior to the Oslo Accords. You're aware of this. It was formed in the 60s.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah,
That's
so
that's what I'm saying.
yeah, but the thing is, yeah, so their policy wasn't always a two-state solution. That was their later policy, right? Their prior policy was not a two-state solution. That was not why the PLO was created.
You mean during the Nakba?
The PLO was not around during the Nakba, but okay.
So what do
Wait,
you mean?
Harry.
So what I'm arguing is the position of the two-state solution that the PLO has. This was during the 90s, right? Prior to the 90s, so like we go back to the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. They didn't have that policy. They did not have a policy of a two-state solution with Israel. They only had a two-state policy towards Israel after they came to the negotiating tables.
Okay, so why were they like? I mean,
Yeah,
2000
so
around
yeah, but
2000.
Hamas was created prior to the Oslo Accords.
Said Hamas is created prior, or the PLO is created prior?
No, okay, so I'll explain it. The PLO was formed in the 60s, around 64, right?
Okay.
In 87, Hamas was formed, okay? The Oslo Accords was in 94, right? What I'm trying to say is that before both parties came to the negotiating tables, Hamas was formed before the Oslo Accords, and the PLO was
Hamas
formed
was
before the
formed
Oslo Accords.
in the 2000s, the early 2000s.
Can you repeat that?
Said Hamas was formed in the early 2000s.
No, it was
Back
not.
in 2001.
No, it's not. Hamas was not formed into the 2000s. You're wrong. It's you can easily just go on a Wikipedia article. It will literally tell you that it was founded in 1987.
1987.
Yeah, this is when Hamas was as an organization came to existence.
Okay.
The founder was Sheikh Ahmed Yassin. So he existed like before 2001, and he basically formed the organization. So what do you mean by 2000?
Yes, because they only took power in 2005, and I only heard.
Yeah, they only took power, right? But as an organization, they existed before 2005.
Okay, so what has this got to do with the PLO?
The PLO, you mentioned the PLO. Someone did, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned, Hamas was like created or whatever. Hamas wasn't created because Israel loves them and whatnot. No, that's not why. It's because it was mainly used during the time, right? So this would be like in the first Intifada, right? They were viewed as sort of like a bulwark towards the PLO, right? Because they were adversaries of the PLO. They had different ideas. The PLO was like mostly secular. Meanwhile, Hamas was mainly like an Islamist organization based on Islamic principles.
Yeah.
So it was mainly, stuff like that happened. So
I mean, you could say Hamas is a far right winger.
Hamas is, by standards, they would be considered Muslim nationalists. They'd be the equivalent of like some Christian theocrat in the United States or something.
Wait,
No, in
Harry.
terms of their views, not their. I mean,
Harry.
They don't function on like, how do you say it?
Harry, what's your question? I'm trying to
Sharia or
understand.
whatever you.
Yeah, well, but they do have they're basically a branch of the Muslim Brotherhood, right? And the Muslim Brotherhood has been well known to have basically like, again, the far right and right wing, left wing system is complete in the Arab and Islamic world is completely different
Yeah, it
than
sounds like
that in the
you make
West.
it sound like this, like it's prophesized in the religion.
Prophesied? What? No, I'm not saying it's prophesied in their religion. I'm saying that Hamas holds to more religious views in how they function as a party. Meanwhile, the PLO has more of a secular approach to things.
Wait, can I just like cut in here? Like, are you saying that there is no prophecies about an army that's going to prepare the way for a law that'll be carrying the black flag?
We're not talking about that. What were you
I
saying?
know
Harry?
that. I know that. But I'm just saying, like, if you say that that's not like deeply rooted within your religion, like there is no prophecies of this sort of army that would arise and prepare the way for a law, that's a lie. That's deeply rooted within your hadith. But anyways.
I don't know what you mean, but
I
Yeah.
can show
So
you evidence later.
Harry, what exactly is your objection? I'm trying to figure this out.
I mean, you
Objection to
started by
what?
saying
So he's talking
you,
about
you're
Hamas
Wait,
don't run on
hold on,
true.
hold on. Wait, Abu Lahab, 1 second. Harry,
Go
what
ahead.
is your Harry? What is your position?
no, I'm just he thinks like I want to understand why he thinks the PLO were not working for a two-state solution or
They
the other.
were.
1 second,
They were working.
Abu Lahab, 1 second, please. I'm trying to also understand. Please, Harry, what is your question?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Harry. What is your question?
Like I said, he said he thinks that the PLO like we're not
Why?
working
Let
against
me
the
ask you,
two-state solution.
Harry, 1 second. Why do you ask about the PLO? I mean, we're trying. I'll tell you what the debate is. We're trying to analyze: is Gaza evil? So in my position, I don't think Gaza is evil. I don't think you can blame Gaza for how they behave, because
Yeah, it doesn't
Gaza
make
was.
sense. It's like collectively punishing people for their own government, which doesn't make sense because it's
I don't even say that. I say and Gaza and the Hamas are just Mossad operations. Everybody agrees that the Mossad created the Hamas and funded the Hamas until
yeah, we get
until
that.
This I
We
do
understand.
not think that people agree on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
can I
no,
respond to you, Harry?
this is
Can I just
anyone
respond for a
who
sec? Yeah. Okay. So what I said was I never said that they don't accept a two-state solution. What I'm saying was
Abu
the
Lahab,
idea of it. I'm
Abu
trying to
Lahab.
respond, dude.
No, no,
Like
but Abu
he
Lahab,
brought up the PLO, so let me
I
bring it.
understand. I
Let me
understand.
respond to it.
Abu Lahab, I understand. I understand. But we have a debate about Gaza. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking
let
about
him make.
details. But
Because you brought up Hamas being a Mossad
I have no
invention,
clue
so I'm
what's
trying to
being
explain
brought up as well.
the context of these organizations and how they came into
but I
existence. I'm
look,
trying to
but
explain this.
but the P- but look, this is not important. Who
It
cares?
is important.
Why is it
It is
important?
important because you brought up the
Sounds pretty
idea that
relevant.
Hamas is being enabled by Israel. So I'm trying to explain to you
Man.
the entirety of the situation. Okay, the Israelis should just wake up and like, yeah, let's just go fund these people. No, that's not what they did. That's not what they did.
Wait,
So
so
it's like,
you agree? 1 second. So Abu Lahab, you agree that the Hamas is just an operation of the Mossad? You agree with that, right?
well, not in the way you view it.
So what am I getting? What am I
Not
getting?
just the
Wait,
Mossad,
hold on.
but yes,
Abu Lahab, you agree that the Mossad created the Hamas? You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
And you, yes, and you agree. What do you mean?
Yeah.
This
So
is
can I
headline
explain it?
news.
Can I
Everybody
elaborate?
knows
Can I
this.
yeah.
elaborate?
Even
Yeah.
the
Can I
Israelis.
elaborate?
This.
What
Yeah.
do you
Can I
mean?
elaborate?
They even
Before,
say it in their own news media.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I elaborate
Why
on that?
There's no need, Abu Lahab. There's no
Yes,
need.
you need to. I'm because you're sort of misrepresenting what I mean, which
Why?
is like not.
Why?
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that Hamas has been viewed. Has been viewed. This is prior to them becoming like an existential threat, right? They were always viewed as sort of a bulwark against the PLO. This was especially the case before the Oslo Accords, because
I don't.
again, the Oslo
I don't
because
think so. I don't think so. I don't think so.
they were, yeah.
Maybe. Look. Maybe initially, when the Mossad created the Hamas, maybe they had in mind what you're saying. But I think later this changed, and
Yeah,
now,
what I'm
hold on.
saying is the
I'll tell
PLO
you.
was a bigger threat
Yeah, but
before.
That's what I
obviously,
was arguing against. How was the PLO a
obviously,
bigger threat?
but
Like I don't get.
hold on, Harry, hold on. Obviously, that's no longer true. The PLO right
Yeah,
now,
that's no longer true, but at the
okay,
time,
so but it's fine. But right now, look, we shouldn't care about a billion years ago. The
no, we should.
two amoebas a billion years ago had a disagreement that we don't care. Right
No,
now,
you should though, but because this is
no.
like you're negating a lot of, you're just leaving out a lot of important things that are a part of the equation. So with, you said Hamas is a Mossad operation.
Yeah.
I'm explaining to you that it was in the best interest of Israel to sort of prop up some sort of counterfeit to the PLO at the time. So
Wait,
with regards to the PLO,
counterfeit?
like something to counter the PLO.
Okay, a counter.
If you
Okay.
understand what I mean. Yeah, a counter. My English isn't that great.
That's
but,
fine, but
something to counter the PLO because
but who
the
says
PLO was viewed
That's
as the
fine.
main source of content. It is viewed as a main issue for Israel before Hamas.
Fine. Look, whatever the reason the Mossad had to create the Hamas, I don't care. I don't necessarily agree.
Well, I care, man. I care.
But it's not relevant right now. Why is it
It is
relevant right now?
relevant.
How
It
is
is
it relevant?
dude. It is relevant.
You're talking
It is,
about
man.
1,000 years ago. Who cares?
1,000 years ago. No, this is like recent history. This is just a few decades. Like what? Like
Decades?
30, 50 years? 40?
Decades? 30,
Yeah, a few
50?
decades ago. Yeah.
Why do you care about so many years ago? Why? People
I
already.
care because
Why?
this plays into the conflict that we have today. Okay.
How? How is this? How is this relevant? I don't see
It's
how this is
relevant because
relevant.
things did not just erupt
If you
into
can't
thin
get
air.
history
Out
right,
of
you
thin
won't
air.
get anything right.
Wait,
Things
Harry,
didn't just erupt out of thin air. This just makes no sense,
Yeah, I
man.
mean,
I'm not.
if you can't get hit,
Why? But why is it important? Why is it important?
It
Who
is
cares?
important because you need to look at the context of things. You can't just. This is not a thin air. You know, things didn't just erupt out of thin air, and we're like, yeah, let's just
Okay,
create
let me.
Hamas. And
Okay,
it's like,
okay.
oh,
Abu
Hamas is great.
Lahab. Abu Lahab. Abu Lahab. Did you know that Hitler supported the state of Israel originally? Did you know that?
Are you talking about the Havara agreement? Yeah, I've heard this before. Yeah.
Are we going to talk about that too? Do we care? Should we care? I mean, this is. I don't want to talk about the beginning of the universe right now. Right now, we have Gaza, that is a Mossad
Yes.
operation. It's a Mossad operation. So you cannot blame Gaza for anything. You can blame the Mossad
You can.
agents, the stupid Mossad agents that created the Hamas and financially gave money to the Hamas.
There are multiple factors to this. Like I'm saying, there are multiple factors that play into this situation. It's not like a black and white issue. It's not just, oh, Israel is this and that, and like let's just completely forget about everything else that happened. Let's completely forget about what Hamas believes in, what their ideology is, what their charter says, you know, and what the Palestinian population in Gaza views.
You have to blame the Mossad for erecting the Hamas. You cannot blame the
blame the
Hamas.
people. Yeah, blame the people who propped them in the first place. The biggest
Exactly.
supporters of Hamas, you know who they are.
Exactly. You
Hey,
cannot
can you
blame. You cannot blame Gaza for anything because the Mossad
can.
did. The Mossad did the whole thing. The Mossad created this entire mess. How can you bring this to the Gazan people? Why would you talk to them?
When did I say Gazan people, like entirely?
What do you mean by Gaza?
Well,
When I said the Gazans are complicit, when I'm saying the Gazans are complicit, what I said was they approve of the acts of October 7th, and some of them even engaged in the attacks.
Yes,
they
but
should
they
be
have
all
been
collectively
they
punished
have
for
been they've been radicalized by the
You're basically
Mossad.
using the same Nazi.
Dude, oh my god, man! Oh my god!
What? What am I missing? Tell me what I'm missing. What I'm missing.
Dude, like I'm explaining. Yeah, okay. Let's argue that. Who's running Gaza now? What do they teach? What does the charter teach? Please tell us, enlighten us on what the charter.
For what? For
The-
what? For
Hamas.
what, exactly?
What does the Hamas charter teach?
No,
So you're saying
Gaza.
you're saying like all like civilians should be punished for.
No, what? I never said that, dude. Where are you getting this idea from?
Harry, listen. You're falling into the trap that the Mossad set you up to fall into. The Mossad.
What?
I'm not a Mossad agent. What are you talking about, dude?
Abu Lahab, I'm not saying you're a Mossad agent. Stop. Harry. The Mossad.
What?
Okay, Harry. The Mossad created the Hamas and financed the Hamas until just a few months ago. Now, I would say the last time The Mossad gave the Hamas money. It's probably a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, not too long ago. So the Hamas is just a Mossad operation. What is the purpose of this
No,
operation? Abu Lahab. Let me just explain. I'll explain
no, it's not
my.
entirely the case.
It's fine. It's fine. But I'm explaining my conspiracy theory. You explain your conspiracy theory, and Harry and everybody else can judge for themselves. But let me explain my conspiracy theory. So the Mossad
Okay.
created the Hamas. Everybody agrees the Mossad created the Hamas. Everybody agrees the Mossad financed the Hamas. Everybody agrees the Hamas was collapsing 2 or 3 years ago. And everybody agrees the Mossad convinced Qatar to give money to the Hamas. And everybody agrees this is
No.
headline news. This is headline news from newspapers at the time. I follow the news. Everybody agrees the head of the Mossad went to Qatar, picked up suitcases of money, of cash, and delivered them
It's
either.
even
Hold on.
it's even
What?
in Haaretz, like Israeli newspaper.
Everybody
It's even
agrees.
in their
This
own
is
news.
everybody agrees. This is headline news. I've spoken to many people. No one contends the data.
Yeah,
The
I don't contend that Israel did
Abu Lahab,
fund
Abu Lahab,
Hamas.
Abu
I
Lahab,
don't contend this.
Abu Lahab, Abu Lahab. Let me just finish. I'll finish my conspiracy theory. Okay. So
Go ahead.
the Mossad delivered this cash to the Hamas after the Hamas was already in war with Israel multiple times, after the Hamas fired rockets into Israel, into civilian populations multiple times over many, many years. So the question,
Okay.
so the question is, if we say, and then October 7th happened, and then Israel decided, you know what, Mossad, you're idiots. This is a bad idea. It's a bad idea to let the Hamas govern Gaza. Okay. So
Okay.
now is hold on. So now the Israel, the government, they say Mossad, okay, you did terrible. We're gonna tear down the Hamas. No more support the Hamas. No more. We don't want to hear about the Hamas. We're gonna fix the problem. Okay, now we're gonna fix the problem. Okay.
Okay.
So
But here, like even if I agree with like some of the things you say, like I agree with Abu Lahab when he says like the Mossad or the secret service of this country serves the government. It doesn't serve itself, you know. So
hold on.
it's not only like from the Mossad side. It's
Yeah, the Mossad is not like some
I'm
cabal
not.
of just
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
random
I'm not.
nobodies.
I'm not. Yeah, of course. Of course, the Mossad is just an agency. It's like the CIA. It's an agency with agents. It's fine. It's the intelligence agency of Israel. It's part of the government. I don't. I'm not. Yeah, I agree. Of course. All I'm telling you is literally headline news that everyone agrees. There's absolute consensus. I'm not saying anything that is not headline news. Anyway, so now the Israeli government says, okay, we're going to tear down the Hamas that the Mossad created and financed all these years. We're done with the Hamas. No more Hamas. Okay. Now the question is, up to now, this is everyone agrees. This is headline news. Now my question is now, who are you going to blame for October 7th for this behavior on October 7th? So I say you cannot blame the people of Gaza for what the Mossad did to them. This is a complete manipulation of the Mossad. The Mossad took innocent people and drove them insane with this project, with this operation. And you cannot now come and say it's the Gazan people who are guilty, they're evil. It's actually evil to say that. It's evil to blame the Gazan. The Gazan people are the victims of the Mossad just as much as the Israeli people are the victims of Gaza. But it's the Mossad. It's the agents in the Mossad. It's the head of the Mossad and the Israeli government that went along with this craziness. And now, and Harry, when you say, when you're saying, what was your claim that that the Israeli government is now punishing all the people of Gaza. The Israeli
Electric
government is not punishing anyone. The Israeli government is trying to fix the problem that it created, you know, as quietly as possible with the most minimal damage. But
No, we know like it's
Okay,
always
Mr.
been the
Said, can
same
I
thing
explain
for
this?
75
no, no,
years.
no, Abu Lahab, Abu Lahab. Let Harry.
All right. Yes.
Abu Lahab,
Go
you
ahead.
spoke a lot. Mix
Okay.
it up.
I gotta
Let,
go right now, so like I'll see you.
I sent you a friend request, Abu Lahab.
Yeah,
We'll be
sure.
in
I'm
touch.
sure we can talk.
Yeah. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Harry, I'm listening. Yeah.
No, the reason I say this is because like they they think it's the first time it happens. Like it's not the first 7th of October. I mean, there's many events that happened before. It basically happens every year, but no one talks about it. This is like an event,
What happens every year?
which like massacres from both sides.
No, and no, there's no massacres. That's not the part. There's no massacres. That's I no. There's no evidence of massacres. No. The Gazan population keeps growing. Year over year, the Gazan population is growing. The Israelis are not trying to massacre Gazans. The Israelis don't care about Gaza.
It's
The
not just
Israelis,
Gaza. It's also
what?
on the West Bank and in other areas.
No,
Not just
the
Gaza.
Israelis. Listen, the Israelis don't care. Israelis, Israelis are they want to live a good life. They don't want to kill anybody. They just want to have peace. But it's the Mossad
I get it, but
agents.
the reason I
Mhm.
mentioned Mossad not
Yeah.
being like 100% complicit in this, because they also like before October 7th, like Israel got warnings from Egypt, Qatar, and even their own secret service, which is
Yeah,
super
yeah,
secret.
we know, we know, we know, we
But
know.
they ignored it like like
We know. This is
didn't even have
so.
the ways like they were expecting this to
I
happen.
know, I know. Nah, look, this is big government. It's a big. Is the Israeli government is big. It's fat. It's complex. It's overcomplicated. It's it's just government. This is, you know, it's not the it's what happened in October 7th and this war in Gaza and the whole conflict. This is just the result of big government. That's how I see it. It's just big government. It's a the government, especially the Israeli government. It's the Israeli government is very leftist. It's a socialist, very socialistic government. It's a very big government.
Wow.
Many
So
agents. What?
you're saying the current political party right now is a liberal government? A
It's
liberal
relative.
party, I mean?
It's supposed to be relatively right wing, but but it's like compared to the US, it's ridiculous. I mean, the US is extremely economically right wing. Europe is
Yeah,
more to
like a liberal and Israel would be like a far right wing in the US. If you
no,
compare
just
them.
the opposite. Just no, just the opposite. I'm talking about economics. So Israeli economics is extremely socialist. The most right wing. I mean, Israel is very socialistic. Israel is a very poor country, very poor country. Compare
Yeah.
like Israel is by far. Israel is part of the OECD. It's like hold on, I have an important message. No, it's not important.
In terms of its economy or its military funding?
In terms of wait, what?
In terms of its economy or its
Yeah.
military funding?
Yeah, the economy, the Israeli economy, the average quality of life in Israel is very low compared to Europe. Very low compared to Europe. And Europe is very low compared to the US. So Israelis are very poor people. Of course, the Arab countries are even more poor. Egyptians are poorer. Saudis are poor. Not Saudis. Jordanians are poor, Syrians are poor, Lebanese are poor. Some like the Saudis are less poor, but they're also not so wealthy. And so there's some countries, but in general, Israel is a very poor country. But there
Are you
in
from Israel? If you don't mind me
no,
asking.
no, I don't
Where are
I
you
don't
from?
say where I'm from. I don't talk about where I'm
Okay,
from.
that's fine.
It's not it's not important. Look, the point is that Israel did not commit massacres. At no time did Israel commit massacres. It's not Israel is not interested in massacring anyone. So that's not on the table as far as I know. There's no evidence of that.
There's a lot of evidence for it, but
You,
I
s-
mean, if you
you
ask me for that, like all the massacres, there's more than 20 in the past 70 years.
20 what?
20 massacres from Israel
No,
on like Palestinian civilians.
no. I know the facts. Look. You're talking to a person that says that Gaza is not responsible for October 7th,
I get
right?
it,
So
but
so 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 even
I
even the biggest Islamist, they all say October 7th is terrible and it should be condemned.
yeah, but
No,
I
I
get
say
that Hamas
I say
like
I
bombed them in the
say
first place, but
I
listen,
say if you
okay,
condemn the Gazans for October 7th, you are evil. So you're talking to a person that is unwilling to
of course I
condemn.
get, of course I agree with that. Of course, no one can agree with collective punishment,
No, I'm not
not
talking
in any
about
circumstance.
collective. Again, you're falling into the trap that the Mossad set you up to fall into. There's no
What do you
collective
believe?
punishment. What do you mean? There's no punishment. Who's punishing? There's no punishment. Right now,
That's okay.
the Israeli government is pinpoint killing, the militants in Gaza. They have no choice, basically. I mean, that the way that's the way big government works. And big government has an enemy, it goes to kill the enemy. They're not trying to kill civilians, they're not trying to kill children, they're not trying to kill anybody else, but they're trying to kill the militants. But who created these militants? The Mossad created these militants. These are soldiers of the Mossad. They don't know that they're soldiers of the Mossad, they think they're soldiers of Hamas. But Hamas is a Mossad operation. Everybody agrees Hamas is a Mossad operation. So all the militants in Gaza work for the Mossad. But the Mossad now was told by the government, stop funding the Hamas. So right now the Mossad is no longer supporting the Hamas. But not until too long ago, the Hamas was just a Mossad operation. So you cannot blame the Hamas for being Hamas. Hamas was being funded by the Mossad.
Yes, I get that, but you can't say they take orders from the Mossad. I mean, it's like they
They
take
don't
direct
take
orders from them.
they don't take orders. They take money.
Exactly.
So so
So
so
they're just falling in the trap that were set for them in the first place.
exactly. This is a trap. Yes, this is a setup. The Mossad. This is a setup. You could say that the Mossad.
So
The
what
Mossad
what
is.
I'm saying is
Mhm.
this didn't happen in a vacuum. Like Hamas wouldn't have done what they've done if this didn't happen before. So this is why I mentioned the massacres that happened before October 7th.
No,
That
no,
happened like I'm
that's
talking about the
not.
Gaza massacre in 2021 and 2018, and there's the one
No,
in Jenin
no,
in 2011.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no,
you can
no.
look them up. What you're saying no without like even having like looking
I,
up these
I, I, you're talking to a person that obviously is learned in this topic. I know the data. There's no, the Israeli people. They have a
so you've never
democracy.
heard about any of this. Like you don't think, yeah, you think it's like what, propaganda? All these massacres that people or Palestinians say that happened before October 7th.
Look, all I can tell you is the way Israel is built. Israel is democracy with freedom of speech. Anyone can say anything, and whenever there is an accusation of a Palestinian killed by a Jew, there is this immediately goes to the police and goes to trial, and if it's true,
Obviously, but when
people are
it's the other
punished.
way around, no one gives a shit. Like there's no
What?
trial, no nothing.
What?
When
When?
it's the other way around, there is no
No,
trial. If a Jew
no, no,
kills
no,
a
no, 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 no. When a Jew kills a Palestinian, it always goes to the headline. There's always headlines. It always goes to the trial, always. And sometimes they're found guilty. But this happens very seldom that there is an accusation of a single Palestinian murdered by a Jew. Very seldom do Jews kill Palestinians, like innocent Palestinians just go and murder. It almost
haven't you heard
never,
of the
never.
settlers? Like
Settlers,
they're even the settlers don't
no.
ever attack the refugee camps in West Bank for Palestinians, and
I'm telling you, whenever a Jew in Israel murders a Palestinian, it
then
gets
then why
reported
why are they giving out M4s to fucking like settlers or civilians living in in Palestinian neighborhoods?
because they they defend themselves because they're afraid, because the Jews in Israel are afraid of the Palestinians.
So they think so. Who's under threat, the Jews or the Palestinians?
Who's what?
Who's
Who's
under
under
threat in at
threat?
this? Yes.
Uh, yeah, I mean, in general, it's the Palestinians who are threatening
Yeah.
the Jews. In
Okay.
general, in general, the Palestinians. I guess many of them talk like you, and you are radicalized to believe what I know are lies. You believe that this nonsense. I'm sorry to say that the Jews
Which
are
which
killing.
which nonsense is there?
That
Can you
there's
like specify?
massacres. That there is the Jews commit massacres against Palestinians.
You can
The,
easily look this up. Like this is not hard to find.
look,
Can
the
I give you a
is
list?
no, give me a name of one person, not a list. Give me one Palestinian that
One,
was murdered by a Jew. Name one Palestinian that was murdered by a Jew.
brother, these are
No,
hundreds,
no,
maybe thousands
no,
of
no, no.
Palestinians.
Give me one name. No, no, I don't know hundreds. No, no. Give me one name. One. Right? There's hundreds.
I, I can't
Wha-
listen. Listen, I can't. What do you
Why
mean?
not?
Like I can't. I mean,
Why
haven't you
not?
heard? Never mind civilians. Like let's talk about famous people they killed. Like the reporter they killed, Shireen Abu Akleh, which is a Palestinian
Okay.
American journalist.
Who
She was shot in
who
the head by
murdered?
the IDF.
Who? Okay. Who murdered him?
IDF,
What do you mean IDF? Give me the
the
name.
Israeli.
Give me the name of the murderer.
What do you mean? They're not gonna give you the name of these things because
So
they
how
don't.
do you know? How do
They
you
don't
know? Wait, wait, wait. How do you know this murder took place?
because
Right.
it was all over headline news. Everyone was talking about it. And
So
they
why
even
did?
I even saw the
What do you
footage
mean?
of her funeral when they put her up, and even when she's dead and she's put in a box, and they're like mourning her death,
Okay, okay.
and
So they. That's not the question. That's
they were
not the
still no,
question.
no, they were still attacked.
That's not.
You're
That's not.
asking me who killed her and what the name was,
Hold
and
on.
like
Wait.
these details.
Hold on.
Like
Hold on.
you're asking, no, no, no. I know what you're asking. You're asking me for a name like Israel.
You
Have
gave me a
like you
name,
give this information in public because
but
they
you gave
denied it
me
at the first.
but you gave me a name. You gave me a name. The name,
Yes, I
we
gave you
have the
name because
name.
that was a famous person.
Okay, so we
Shireen Abu
have
Akleh is a famous person
fine.
because
So we
everyone
have
knows this person. Like
Harry.
imagine like I'm just because I want to like have the same logic here. Like you want me to name civilians that people
No, you gave me
like
a
you and I
name,
don't know?
but you already gave me a name. Why are we?
Yes, because it's a famous person.
Okay, so we have a name. So now we can cross-examine this accusation. So let's begin the cross-examination. Let's begin examining your accusation. So you claim, so I asked you, give me now the name of the murderer. So you say, I don't have it. Then I asked you,
IDF,
okay,
IDF.
okay,
You
I
you
understand.
you want the like you can't say one soldier and I mean they take orders at the end of the day. Like they
Yeah,
can't like decide, okay, I'm gonna kill a Palestinian journalist today because like I felt like it. Like they can't do that in the IDF
okay, so,
unless
okay.
they get a direct order from a like a higher
So they had
organization.
a direct, okay, so they had a direct order to go kill her?
Yes, and
Okay,
she's one of the biggest
one
journalists
second.
for
Just,
like advocating
Harry,
for Palestine.
just answer my
You know who's what?
questions.
Look her up. Like you at least research any of these things up before you deny
Harry,
them.
I'm not denying. I'm cross-examining. I'm not denying. You give me data, you give me evidence. I'm going through the evidence. I'm not
Yes.
denying.
If you wanna look at evidence, at least look at it
No,
logically.
no, no.
So
I,
what do you
you
mean no?
give me,
No what?
you give me the evidence, and we'll go step by step through your evidence, and we will cross-examine your evidence. And maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong. There was a murder, and you're right. So let's step by step. Okay. So you don't have the name of the murderer. That's fine. So you're saying IDF, a
Because
group of
no one does.
soldiers. What?
You think who's gonna report for these things? It's Israel. Who's gonna investigate their own crimes? Who do you think investigates these crimes? Another country?
I
Do you
don't
think
understand.
Palestine investigates Israeli crimes?
I
No,
don't
it's
understand.
Israel that investigates its own crimes.
I don't understand your point. Right now, I am
So what do you mean?
investigating.
How do you not understand my point? This is a very, very simple point. If Israel does a crime, if they do the crime I just told you about when they murdered Shireen Abu Akleh, who gets to investigate this murder?
How is this relevant? Right now, I am
It's very
conducting.
relevant.
No, right now,
You
I'm
want evidence. You say you want evidence. You will say
right.
you want who want
I
to know who
am
killed him.
Harry.
Brother,
Right
at least
now, Harry. Right now, I am conducting the investigation. Just answer my question.
I am
Answer my
asking you the
questions.
question. You can't answer a question with a question.
No, you want to convince me that there was murder. So answer my questions. I need to investigate. You want to ask me questions? You're trying to convince me. I'm open-minded to be convinced, but you have to answer my questions. I need to go through the evidence, cross-examine the evidence, make sure that
Again,
you're right.
you're not getting the point of what I'm saying. I keep repeating, but you don't still don't understand.
So why are you
I'm saying to you
repeating? Why are you repeating? If you're not, if I'm telling
because
you what
because you your answer clearly it is telling me that you didn't listen to what I said. I'm telling you that if you want to look at evidence, if you want to look at this thing or analyze it properly, you have to look at like how these things happen in the first place and who
no,
gets to investigate it.
no,
Because
no,
you
no.
yeah,
You're repeating.
let me
No,
finish, please.
no, no,
Let me
no,
finish.
no. I'm conducting the
What do you mean no?
investigation. You're not going to tell me how to conduct my investigation.
So
Stop.
okay, you're saying you're saying you're like a forensic investigator that understands this stuff, and you and
Listen,
I have
Harry. Stop, stop,
what,
and you look. I'm trying to conduct an investigation.
that is so simple could have been finished an hour ago. You're not letting me conduct the investigation. How are you going to convince me of the accusation? We're never going to go there. You're always going to ask questions. Just answer the
Because
questions.
which question? You asked me the like two, three questions at the same time, and I tried to answer you, and you said no, 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 and you asked the same question again.
Okay. All right. So you said that the IDF, you don't have the name of the soldier that actually killed her. Fine. So you said the IDF soldiers don't go and kill because they choose to, because they want to, but they go and kill because they're commanded to. Okay.
Yes, that's how
So,
the IDF functions.
okay. So,
That's how any
the,
army functions.
okay. So you're saying that these soldiers were told to kill her. Yes?
Yes, obviously,
Obviously. Okay. Do you know why they were told to kill her?
because she's one of like I can think of multiple reasons. If you do you know anything about Shireen Abu Akleh?
Nothing.
She's a very, very famous person in the Palestinian world.
I don't know anyone Palestinian. I'm sorry.
She's also famous in the U.S. as well.
I don't know her. I'm sorry. But give me the answer. Why did they go to kill her?
She's because she she goes and makes a lot of points in throughout I don't know 30 years now. She's been doing the same thing for 30 years, and she's been considered one of the biggest journalists for the Palestinian movement or the Palestinian liberation movement.
So they
They
went.
decided this she was a threat, like many other journalists they killed since October 7th.
So they felt that she's a threat. They said they feel that she's a
Yeah,
threat.
they do what because they have the power to do whatever they want. It's an
Hold on.
occupation. They have
Hold on. Hold on.
it's a
Hold on. Hold on.
no
Hold
no
on.
no.
Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, you ask a question and you can't let me answer the rest of the answer. Okay, sure.
No, let me ask you the questions. I'm trying to be convinced by you. Just let me ask the questions. If you give me an answer and it's good enough, then I'll go to the next question. So okay. So you're saying that they thought that she is a threat, or you're saying they said that they thought that she's a threat, right?
Maybe I can think of a number of reasons. I mean, that could be one of the reasons.
Did they say the reason?
Obviously not, because they who gets to investigate this stuff?
So
Can you answer this question at least?
are you trying to convince me that a murder took place or not?
Like, can we have like a no one's conversation? Like, I'm trying to ask
Then
you a question.
we sure,
It's
but
a very simple question.
but but
Who gets to investigate this? Like, whatever happens to Palestinian journalists or any Palestinian civilians that are killed in cold blood or any massacres? Who gets to investigate these stuff? Like international law?
usually like what?
Who gets to go in the country and investigate what happened? The UN? You think they have the power to do that?
What do you mean power? The UN can do. No one is stopping the UN from doing whatever it wants.
No, but there's still a lot of limitations to what they can do. They can't just go barge in a country. Okay, this happened. Now gonna have to investigate these murders. This is not how politics work.
I don't know
You
what
have
you're
to
talking
understand the
about.
whole premise of it.
I
I'm
have
talking. This
no.
is a very simple question. You're saying there's a murder took place, and so who said what and what said who? Like, is when something happens to Palestinian civilians or anything happens to like any crime against Palestinians from Israel. Who gets to investigate these crimes? You're saying people who do crimes in Palestine, or if a Jew does a crime to a Palestinian, he gets sent to jail, right?
Hold on. Look, do you have a question? Do you want me to answer or do you want to talk? What do you want to do?
Aren't we talking? Or are we...
I want to answer the question,
I
but
feel like
you're
you don't
going.
understand what I'm saying.
Why? Okay, how can I help you realize that you're asking very simple questions? I have very simple answers, but you need to stop in order to let me talk.
Well, okay, I mean, you're the one asking. When you talk, you just ask the same question. You don't explain anything. Go ahead.
What's the question? So, okay, so you asked,
See
so
what I
you're
mean?
asking,
Okay.
so you're asking, can anyone just conduct an investigation, right? You asked this question, right?
Yes, I'm asking who gets to conduct an investigation if any crime happens from from Israelis to Palestinians. Understood.
Okay, it's a good question. So, for example, I am right now doing my best trying to conduct an investigation, but you apparently don't want me to continue this investigation
I'm
because
not
you
talking
want.
about you. I'm not talking about you specifically.
What
I'm
do you
talking
mean?
about the
What's
general.
wrong? Why not? What's
You
wrong? What do
think
you mean? What's
this
wrong
has
with
to
me?
do with you personally?
Wait, well,
There's
why am
nothing
I
wrong with
not?
you. I'm not talking about you. You think this is you think I'm talking about you, but I'm not. I'm talking about like who gets to conduct this investigation. I'm talking about the government. Do you think it's the
What?
Israeli government, or do you think it's
I don't understand the question. Look,
when a crime happens to fucking Palestinians? If an Israeli
Harry,
kills a Palestinian?
Harry, when I say I don't understand the question, and then you immediately barge in, you're not letting me talk. When I say I don't understand the question, I want to follow up and explain to you what I don't understand. But every time
Okay, go
you
ahead.
barge
Go ahead.
in as if I don't know English.
Okay,
Look,
go ahead.
I
Explain your
am
point.
okay, so I am trying to conduct an investigation. Anyone in the universe can conduct any investigation, especially in Israel. Israel, anyone can go into Israel, anyone can go anywhere in Israel. Anyone can go ask anyone in Israel. No one is going to tell you, no, you cannot ask questions. Israel is a democracy. It's completely open. Everything is available. You can talk to anyone. You can probably have a YouTube channel and conduct an investigation and actually ask and reach out to the individuals involved and get answers. You can fly to Israel, get a visa, go into Israel, go into the West Bank, wherever she was murdered, I don't know, and conduct an investigation. You can do it. Anyone can do it. Anyone who wants. The UN can do it. Egypt can do it. Jordan can do it. Anyone can do it. Who cares?
See,
You want
this
to
is
do it,
why
you
you're
do
not
it.
being.
What?
This is why you're not being realistic. You're saying we're talking about investigating a murder.
Yeah.
This is not like a journalism where any journalist can go in another country and report what's happening. This
I
is
don't
different from
understand.
investigating a murder
How
and
is it different?
charging the murderer for what happened.
1 second.
No country has the power to do this. This is what I'm
Of
saying.
course, that's not true. Of course, there is. When there's the International Court of Justice, whatever, the ICJ.
Yes,
Yeah.
the IC,
You.
yes, the ICJ has nothing. Okay, the ICJ cannot go into a country and rule what happens in their own like in their own government. They only can have
Why not?
because it's like they don't have the power to do this. Same as the UN.
What do you mean
The UN
power?
only have
What do you mean? Where do you get this? Doesn't make any sense. Of course, Israel is an open country. What do you mean? You buy a ticket, you fly to Israel, you land in the airport, and you're free to go
bro.
anywhere you want. What are you talking about? You can
Do
free
you
to go to.
understand how international law works? Do you know what
Just
the
answer.
ICJ stands for?
Stop saying that. Stop saying that.
Stop saying what?
Anyone. Stop explaining to me things. I just explained to you that anyone can just buy a plane ticket, fly to Israel, conduct whatever investigation they want. Do you understand that?
So you just prop up things like without defending it, and you expect me to believe that's the normal thing. Like, how can I have a conversation if you
Okay,
can't
hold
even
on.
talk
Well,
about
okay,
what
one
you're
second.
claiming?
Hold on. Okay. Do you understand that anyone can buy a plane ticket to fly to Israel? Yes or no?
Yes. So what does this
Okay,
have to
that's
do with
good.
anything? We're talking about one thing, and I'm
Well,
talking
one
about
second.
something
Hold on. No,
different.
I'm not following your logic. So please help me. I'm going to ask you questions. Let's see where we're, where we go different ways. So you agree anyone can buy a plane ticket, fly to Israel? Yes. Yes.
You asked the same question a lot of times. I said yes.
That's good. Now, once they land in the airport in Israel, you understand, you agree that they can travel around the country to wherever they want. Do you agree with that?
No, no, of course not.
Really? What do you?
Yes.
Who's gonna? Okay. So where can a person not go to, in your mind, in Israel?
I mean, there are parts that are not allowed for tourists.
Like
It's
what?
only
Name
like
one.
for like religious parts, like the Al-Aqsa
Mm,
Mosque and what do you call it? The
okay. I don't know the details. In general, you can right. Anyone can go, for example, to the West Bank, right?
yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. As far as I know,
Because it's
people.
not the West
Hold on,
Bank is not like one.
hold on. As far as I
Okay,
know, there's Airbnb in the West Bank. There's hotels in the. Actually,
I don't know.
when tourists come to Israel, they go to sleep in the West Bank because the hotels in the West Bank are cheap, and then they travel into Israel every day because all the fun is in Israel. But
Travel
the
into Israel.
hotels,
You
what?
make it sound like you make it sound like Israel and Palestine have like two borders that they just cross the line, and the those like split into two countries. I don't know if you've looked at the map before, but the West Bank has like checkpoints. They have
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Palestinian territory, then Israeli
yeah,
territory, and then after it,
yeah,
Palestinian territory. It's like spots all over the place if you look
yeah.
at the map.
So what if
So
there's
there's no like
checkpoints?
jumping borders. It's the same
What?
country.
Yeah, it's the same country, but there's checkpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the problem with checkpoint? What's the
So
problem with the checkpoint?
they're
What
not.
do you care?
Yeah, I'm talking. Because you think it's two countries with one border. It's a lot of borders. It's in the same
You go
country.
to
So
Israel. Hold on, let me understand. You go to Israel. Do you think there is any place in Israel you cannot go to?
well, if you're Palestinian, yes, of course, you can't go anywhere you like.
Okay, hold on. You come from another country, let's say from Europe, right? The ICJ. You come from any country in Europe, any country in North America, South America, any country in Africa, any country in India, China, yeah,
You
all
already
the
asked me this,
countries.
and I told
You
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 not all
come
tourists have
you
access to
you come
everything.
you come from any country to conduct an investigation. Do you think there is any place in Israel you would not be able to go to?
Depends where you're from, and it depends
You are from
if you.
Europe. You're from the ICJ. You're from Europe. You're from Switzerland. Do you think there's
If
any
I'm
place?
okay, no. If I'm from the ICJ, I'll be sent back home because this is not how politics work.
What's your evidence for that?
What do you mean? What's evidence?
What's your
We don't need
evidence? You
evidence.
made the
That's
claim. No, no,
basic
no, no.
logic.
You made it. No, no. I need evidence. You made the claim.
Okay.
Give
See,
me
this is why we
evidence.
can't have a conversation, bro.
You have
If we
no
can't agree
evidence.
on very simplest
No, you
things,
have no
we can't
evidence. Look,
agree on
I'm
anything.
open-minded. I'm
See,
open-minded.
open-minded. I don't think you're open-minded, bro. Like you denied claims, like you even denied Shireen Abu Akleh that was
You
murdered.
I
You
didn't
don't even know who
deny
the person
I
is.
didn't deny anything. I didn't deny anything. But I ask you for evidence. You don't have
So you
evidence.
you basically said before, and I don't keep changing what you said, because before you said like all the what you like all what ever happened before October 7, all the massacres, all the murders, was basically indoctrination from what my own government says, which is what you said at first. But now you said, oh no, I haven't said this. So this
What?
is why you make it difficult to have a conversation with you.
I don't know what you just said. I didn't understand that.
That's the problem.
Okay, I'm honestly, if you have a problem with me, then
Not you, but your understanding. We can't like have an understanding on the most simplest things. How can we even have a conversation about anything?
again, if you have a problem with me, then I don't know how to help you. You know, I'm doing my best. So if my best not good enough, then fine. I'm sorry, cannot help you. I'm doing my best. I asked you for evidence. You say you don't have evidence. Okay, so and you expect
I
me
never
to
said you the
show
one who
me the
said that.
evidence. Show me the evidence that if you land in Israel from Switzerland, you say you're from the ICJ, they're going to send you back. Show me the evidence.
Yes,
Maybe you're right. Show me the evidence.
because ICJ doesn't have jurisdiction over
Show me the evidence. Show me the
evidence.
evidence. Show me the evidence.
Yeah, this is why you make it difficult.
What do you mean? Look, you cannot make claims with no evidence.
Everything I say, you say, show me the evidence.
Yes.
How can we
Yes.
have a no one's conversation if you say this
That's
is you're
that's how
only
you
asking
have
to
a
everything I say?
that's how you have a conversation. I disagree with you. What you're saying is
Disagreeing with what?
nonsense.
Do you know what? Okay, can I like what do you think the ICJ is?
I don't know. It's some organization, international
International Court of Justice.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think they have jurisdiction to go in another country and do whatever the fuck they want?
I I don't care. You are from the a person from the
care?
ICJ. I don't even know what it means jurisdiction. A person from the ICJ wants to conduct an
They have permission.
investigation. Hold
Permission.
on. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. A person from the
They have permission. You
ICJ.
don't.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. A person from the ICJ wants to conduct an investigation in Israel. So he gets on the plane, he lands in Israel. He tells, I don't know who he's going to tell. Who is he supposed to tell that who cares? Who is he going to tell? He lands and he says, I've landed. Congratulations. I'm from Switzerland. He's going to have a passport that says Switzerland. That's it. No one cares that he's from the ICJ. Who cares? There's people from the ICJ everywhere in the world. Who cares? So you saying, no, no, no.
Can I also just mention? Can I
One
just mention
second.
something?
Abu Lahab, 1 second. It's between me and Harry.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to just give input. If, for example, if the UN were to conduct an investigation in
I tried
Israel,
to explain that point.
Israel would
You
have
didn't
give
understand
approval to it. You know, for example, when the UN conducted an investigation on Hamas's war crimes, the Israeli government gave approval for the investigation to go through. So, like, I don't see your point, man.
It's fine. It's fine. Look, Harry. So when a person lands in any country, no one cares who sent him. I mean, the officer at the border usually asks, "Why are you here?" And the officer just wants to know, do you have a normal answer, or are you a terrorist, or are you a crazy person? Like, why are you here? Before we let you in and maybe make a mess, we just want to see that you're a normal person. So, are you here for business, for pleasure? Yeah, that's it. So they're going to ask you, and you're going to say, "Oh, I'm from the ICJ." The officer at the gate is going to tell you, "Punk, here's your passport, sir. Have a great stay." That's it. Now you claim they're going to send them back. Fantastic. Show me the evidence. It makes no sense. I never heard in my life of this idea. So if you want to
because you mentioned the ICJ, which that's what
show
not
me
what the
the
ICJ.
evidence, you have to show me the evidence.
Show me
Otherwise,
like even if I show you evidence, you
show me the
still don't
evidence.
understand what it.
Show me the
See, this
evidence.
is
What do you
why
mean, even if? Show me the evidence or take it back.
I'm
Show
gonna
me
mute
the
you now
evidence or
because
take it back. What?
I don't know. Like you're not even letting me speak. You're just saying, show me the evidence over and over again, like you don't even want to listen.
Listen to what? Take it back. Either show me the evidence
Of
or
course not.
take.
Of course not. I think you're very uneducated, and you need to at least
Show me.
research
Then
anything.
educate
At
me. No,
least
no, no,
at least
no.
research anything,
No.
any of the
Educate
things that
me.
I said. Start with
No.
Shirin Abu Akleh
Educate
and
me.
see
Educate
who
me.
like
Show me the
investigated
evidence.
this murder.
Educate me, Harry. Look, I'm on your side. I'm on
I don't
your
think you're on
side.
anyone's side. You're not in. You're not even in your own side. Like you're not helping yourself.
Okay, look, again, I told you, if I'm not good enough for you, then I'm sorry. I cannot help you.
You can't even think logically about. I think you're on something.
Harry, if I'm not good enough for you, I'm really sorry. I cannot help you. I'm sorry. I can
Can't help
honestly
you
cannot
either.
help
Then
you. What?
you're the one asking the stupid question that I can't help you. So
Look,
what do you mean?
Look, you are here. You're here to talk to me. So I cannot help you. Apparently I'm not good enough for you. So I don't know
Good
what do you want from me now?
I don't know what you want from me.
Look, this is my room. So if you're
Your room.
here,
Oh, okay. Okay. I get it now. Okay. My bad. I'm gonna leave your room in 1 second.
you're welcome to stay. I just don't know if I'm not good enough, then I don't know why you would be
No,
here.
it's your room, bro. It's your room. Sorry to barge in.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What was his claim, anyways?
That the Israeli conducted massacred. So I told him, name one person that was murdered. Name one Palestinian that was murdered.
Massacres where?
I don't know. I don't know where. He claimed the Israelis massacred Palestinians. The Jews massacred the Palestinians.
I mean,
Many.
yeah, okay, what's his point exactly, though? Like, the Arabs also massacred Jews before the state of Israel existed, so what's his point?
I don't know. I don't know. But I
Hello,
never.
people.
Hello, Aria. But
Hello,
I never.
Mr. Slave.
Hi.
Are you recording?
Yes, we're recorded. Yes.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, I mean, I never heard of Israelis massacring Palestinians. So I don't know what he's talking about. So I
Bro,
told them
why'd you name this?
what? Oh, she left.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, anyways.
So I told him.
No.
So
Yeah.
I never heard of this. So I told him, name one person. He said, yeah, many Israelis murdered many Palestinians. So I said, okay, name one Palestinian. Hello, Abu Hassan, my brother. So I told him, name one Palestinian that was murdered by a Jew. He said, well, there's hundreds and hundreds. I said, name one. I don't have name. Okay, name one. Then he gave me the name. So, I don't know. He gave me some
Was
name.
was it Dariusine or something?
I don't know. He gave me a name. I think it's a woman. She is a journalist. I
Oh,
don't know.
Shireen Abu Akleh, yes, I know
Yeah,
who you're
something.
talking about. She's an Al Jazeera journalist. I can explain that. So what happened was, the situation was, she was reporting, she was like, well, when she was killed, she was basically in the middle of like a crossfire between Israeli forces and Palestinian militants in the West Bank, and
Mhm.
she eventually like was in the middle of the crossfire, which is why she was killed. Yeah.
Okay, so the way he put it, they did it on purpose. Wait, Sage, what do you mean? How do I join? You talk. Either you push to talk. I see you're muted, so you're self muted.
Oh
So
no, I thought it was like a locked voice chat.
no, it's not locked, and I'm pretty much
Now I noticed. Now that I joined, I know that it's not locked.
okay. Do I know you,
Yeah.
Sage?
So.
Mhm. No,
Like we've
Abullah.
actually communicated in the past.
What?
We have been in voice chats in the past.
Sage, you have been in voice chats in the past?
Me and you have been in the same voice chats before.
Oh, what did we discuss? Black holes?
I don't. I don't remember. Maybe Christianity.
I certainly don't remember.
I
Well, Are
don't,
you,
but I remember your profile picture.
are you a Christian?
I am. I used to be a Seventh-day Adventist.
What I don't know what that is. I'm not familiar with the with religions and stuff. I know basic Christianity, basic Islam, and that's it.
It's like it's a more Jewish-fied version of Christianity, essentially.
Hmm. Okay, I
It's
don't.
something that comes from the Reformation, so it's like, you know.
I have zero idea what you just said, so that's fine. I'm just I don't know anything about religions. So so
Um,
yeah,
So as you were mentioning, he brought up the journalist.
yeah.
Yeah, so the thing is, what they fail to mention is that it wasn't done intentionally. So the problem is with the reporting of this story is that even before the IDF began a investigation into the incident, people were already making the claim that, oh, they did this intentionally and like whatnot, right? Um, what eventually happened was the IDF concluded, yeah, the IDF did kill her, but it was not in an intentional way. They didn't do it on purpose. It was mainly collateral damage because she
Oh,
was in the middle of a crossfire between
I
two
see.
sides. So
I see. I see. The way he put it, I mean, he told me he said in the beginning Jews murdered her. Okay, give me the name. I don't have the name. IDF. Oh, so the IDF. Okay, do you know the name of the IDF soldier? No. The IDF didn't do it because they wanted to kill. They did it because they had the command to kill. Oh, okay. So why did they get the command to kill? Because they thought she was a threat.
how was she?
Okay.
What?
She was a threat. She was endangering Israel. I don't know. Look,
And
I
what
mean,
does that even mean?
the Jews were afraid of her, so they killed her. They sent militants to kill her.
No,
That's
that's
how.
not what happened though.
Well, that's the way. Wait, you just jumped out.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, but that's just a retarded way of understanding things. Sorry for using that word, but it's stupid because that's not why she was killed. It's not because it's like, oh, go kill this woman. No, that's not what happened. What happened was there was crossfire between Palestinian militants and IDF forces. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
this was in the West Bank. Yeah, and that's why she was
yeah.
killed. It's like, not we didn't do this because it's like some evil
I know.
Kabbalistic conspiracy.
I
It's like,
know. Jews in
yeah.
general in Israel usually don't just get up and murder Palestinians, and the IDF usually does just go and murder civilians or journalists. No one needs this headache. It's a headache for everyone when a non-combatant dies. So no one wants it on their, no one wants to fill out the
Mhm.
paperwork. So everyone avoids it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, how long have I been here?
For a few hours.
Yeah, almost 3 hours. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go
Yeah, by the
now.
way, I'm in your server. If you ever want to talk about anything, please let me know. By the way, if you don't mind me asking though, before you leave, like, what is your general like opinion on the conflict? Like, are you pro-Israel or pro-Palestine?
I am. You can tell I'm split. I'm split.
Mm-hmm.
I'm neither and both.
Right.
I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's I told you it's just big government, and what are you going to do against big government? Can you solve it? I mean, of course not. This doesn't have a solution. This is only going to get worse. Big
Mm-hmm.
government makes messes, and it's going to continue making more of a mess. And
Mm-hmm.
that's and that That's our.
So yeah, so from what I'm getting from this, like you're not really into the whole thing. You haven't like gone into it in depth, is what I'm getting from this.
No, I went into it more in depth than anyone else ever did.
Yeah, but in what aspect though? Like what history? Like, are you
I
about
don't I
October
don't
7th?
I don't care about history.
Mhm.
As you notice, I don't care. Like when two children come to me and they when I see 2 children fighting, I don't get involved.
Right.
I just tell them, just don't break anything, don't make too much noise, figure it out. I don't care. Whatever issues you have, I don't care. You know,
Right.
just don't murder each other because you're gonna go to jail. So that's just advice. Other than that, don't hurt each other. If you don't like each other, stay away from each other. Anyway, so you have um
Mhm.
I mean, you don't even have two groups here. What you have is a terrible government. The Jewish government, the Israeli government, it's a terrible government. The Israelis don't have a constitution, and it's a very leftist, it's a very left-leaning country economically, which makes it very poor. And once everybody's poor, so you get violence. Violence is a function of poverty. And part of the violence is this war, is the wars, the ongoing wars in Israel, the ongoing violence. But Gaza is a separate thing. I think Gaza is a literal creation of dumb government. Everything was fine until idiot Sharon decided to disengage from Gaza. So, so blame him. Everything was fine. Why did he have to pull out? Let me just I'm getting messages on my phone. I need to reply. One second. So like most people that are pro-Israel, they blame Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. Gaza is right, Gaza is evil, the Gazans are terrible. But we're not going to solve the problem. The solution is, if you have a problem with Gaza, but you don't have a problem with the West Bank, then change Gaza into the West Bank. Make whatever modifications you can to Gaza to make it like the better version of Gaza, or the previous version of Gaza, which was much better, right?
He
Oh,
left.
he left. Yeah, he keeps dropping off. I think he has a problem with his phone.
Are you Muslim?
Wait, what?
Are you Muslim?
Am I Muslim? No, I'm an atheist. No.
Same thing.
Wait, you're an atheist?
No.
You're an atheist? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm messaging simultaneously. Oh, is everybody? What's going on? People are leaving while communicating. Ex Caracarala, how are you?
Okay. I'm reading about the Middle East, and all of it, literally all of it, is about oil, for like 99% of it. I'm also reading about
No,
economics. Interesting.
no. Israel Gaza has nothing to do with oil. Nothing to do with economics. Israel Gaza is just dumb government. Dumb. There was a prime minister in Israel. His name was Sharon at about 2005. He woke up one morning and he decided that Jews should not live in Gaza. And he took all the Jews from Gaza and he forced them out of Gaza. And then he sealed Gaza And then Gaza started shooting rockets into Israel. And then the Israeli army had to go into Gaza and kill Gazans. And then the Israeli military pulled out. And then again, Gaza fired rockets into Israel. And again, the Israeli army went in. And again, Gaza fired rockets. And again, the Israeli army went into Gaza. And then the last time, the Gazans, they massacred people. They went out of the border, out of the sealed area, and they attacked Israelis and then ran back into Gaza. But this was created by government. Government created the Gaza, the Gazan phenomenon. This is created by the Jewish government. The Jewish government created this nightmare for themselves. So they cannot blame the Gazans for this mess. It's the Israeli government that created this mess. Everything was fine. Everything was fine in Gaza. Everything was fine, more or less. Now everything is a nightmare. What changed? What changed is that the Israeli government decided to change things. So when you change things, sometimes you destroy your life. So every time you change things and you end up destroying your life, you should take a hammer and hit yourself on the head with the hammer so that you remind yourself, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't change things. When everything is okay, I should be careful what I change because I might destroy my life.
How do
Did
you
you
feel about the January 7th attacks?
I
When
think
there were like the
it's Israel's fault. Israel did this to
why?
itself because everything was fine, more or less, until 2005, and then the Israeli government decided to force the Jews from out of Gaza and to seal Gaza from Israel. Basically,
Would
they
you
turned.
visit would you visit Tel Aviv or Jerusalem or whatever?
Yeah, yeah. Tel Aviv and Jerusalem
It
are
seems
fine.
like a good time to visit. Have you seen that video of the guy who goes like he visits countries after they have like a terrorist attack because it's cheaper to visit during that time?
No.
It's cheap to visit. Like right now, it'd be very cheap to visit Israel because no one would want to visit right now. Um,
Uh. Okay. Fine.
what have you read recently? We could talk about that
Look,
because I know nothing about Israel Palestine.
places that are cheap because it's not a good time to visit. So
Exactly.
like, so I was traveling during COVID because traveling was so cheap. But the reason traveling was cheap is because it was so difficult to travel. So it was such a nightmare that I regret traveling during COVID. It ended up being just a complete nightmare. Like every flight was such a nightmare. Unbelievable.
You want to see my bookcase?
Your bookcase? Sure.
Yeah, like my bookshelf. One sec. Never mind. You need server permission, so I can't do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. There's no video in this group. I know.
Oh, I don't have image perms either. Well, I was trying to be well, let me turn it back on.
Okay.
I have like books on like medicine because I was trying to. My cousin was trying to be a doctor, and then I was like, oh, maybe I could do that. Nope, way too difficult. So yeah, I just have like a bunch of medicine books. Um, also, I sent you in DMs.
You sent me a DM. Why
Yeah,
not in the side chat?
I don't have image perms. I don't have image perms.
Oh my god. Okay, let me go check DMs. Let me see. So you read all these books?
No, probably about like a third of them, if that.
Really?
Um,
DNA.
maybe
Oh,
less.
Dan. It's not DNA, it's
Maybe a
Dan.
quarter. Some of the books are like coffee table books, so I don't really
Oh,
read
The
them.
Hobbit. I never basically I never read books. I never read any book. I don't find it I start reading and I find it so boring. I don't watch movies. I just find
You don't
everything.
like literature,
No,
like
I just
fiction? Do
find
you read nonfiction?
no, I don't read anything. No fiction, no non-fiction. I don't watch movies. I don't like inputs. I like
Where
listening to debates on YouTube.
who do you watch? Have you
What do I
seen?
watch on YouTube? Just debates like
Yeah,
Lately, I've been watching Destiny. Um, let me look at my history, my YouTube history. Like today, I was
very
listening.
interesting guy.
Did you hear Trump was shot?
Yeah,
Are you pro Trump?
I am pro America, which is pro. I don't know right now. I thought Biden would win, to be honest, because my main point was Trump wasn't using Twitter, and if he had been using Twitter, I felt like the world would have imploded because there would have been threads with him, Kanye, Elon, and a bunch of other celebrities, and that would have just been chaos. But he ended up taking the businessman approach, which was creating his own social network. And I wasn't sure how that would help him win the election because it's just like his own little thing. But if I were to say who I would want to win, it's probably neither.
1 second, Sage. Wait, you dropped off, right?
Yeah, I had to do something.
Okay.
And I obviously stand with Israel, not because I like Jewish people, but because I'm a
You
Christian.
don't like Jewish people?
I
No.
think they're awful people, honestly.
My goodness.
Well, at least I'm honest about it. Like,
Wait,
I
you
could
honestly
lie.
don't like Jews? I don't
Yeah,
believe
I
it.
don't. I think they're awful people. They live up to the stereotypes in many ways.
No, I don't
So
believe
you
that.
think the Jews run the world and they run all the banking
Wait a
systems?
Okay,
minute.
okay. Wait. Let me answer that question. Yeah, I do think so. They're very influential people.
Wait, Sage, you
Well, like,
sound Jewish.
let's be realistic. Do I sound Jewish? No,
Yeah.
I already told you, I'm a Seventh Day Adventist. We're basically Jews for Jesus.
Okay. Were you born
But
Jewish?
was I born Jewish? No.
All right. You sound Jewishy. Luke.
Jewishy. Well, no, I'm not Jewish. No, I just like what like when we talk about things like, oh, they're in power. They are in power, and they're very successful people. I'll give them that. But with their success does come power. I'm not bitter at them. I just don't think they're really good people. I
Why
think they
not?
have this ego to them that, well, they feel like they're the chosen. They feel like they're the chosen people, so they do tend to have this ego to them. It's like the same thing with Indian people. Like the high caste of Indian people also have an awful attitude.
I can't stand that one guy, that guru,
Mhm.
Sadhguru. I can't stand him. I think he makes good points, but I just don't like the guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
they're
talking
they're not
about?
very. I think I do, but like when you come from a belief where you are essentially the chosen ones and you're above everyone else, you're gonna develop awful habits, and that's what I don't like about them.
One
I
thing I
don't know.
learned, maybe Mr. Slave can go off this. In like markets, a lot of it is chaotic. Like as much as you try and control it, there's some things that will always be like outside your realm of scope. And I feel like a lot of people easily just point the finger at like minorities, but that's not
No, no,
always the case.
that's true. That's true. People are always gonna blame who's ever successful, but like if you see their patterns and the way they live, they do support each other, which is very admirable, and they do scam other people because they do believe they're superior.
What, the
Um,
scam? Jews
Yeah,
scam?
they scam other people. Yeah, they scam other people. They're scammy people. It's the same thing with the Indians. I'm not saying they're all evil people, but I'm saying like they all do have the habit of being awful people. Like I don't wish ill on them, but I do find them very displeasant to be around.
No way.
Well, I'm honest about it.
Uh, that's really strange. What do you
Well, I
mean?
could sit here and I could say,
Hmm?
go ahead.
No, I mean I'm trying like tell me something that happened to you with one of them. Like with the
Well,
worst
it's not like with one of them. It's like I've met quite a few of them, and I'm not saying all of them have it, but the vast majority, at least from the Ashkenazi type, have an ego to them. They have this mentality that they are somehow supreme. Just saw you say something on another server. Wait, what? Someone's saying something to me. Oh, well,
you
okay. Um,
that's
yeah,
very strange. So you cannot okay, tell me a story about something that happened to you that will make me feel that you're right, that they are awful people or
well,
something.
okay. With like this whole Gaza situation,
Yeah.
if you just go online and you will see Jewish people who live in America essentially acting as though they're entitled to that land, even though they've never been there. Even though I frankly think the Jewish people are going to own that land. I'm a Christian. It's prophesied that they're going to own that land. But the
Okay.
way they go about it is so fucking awful. Like they
Well,
also have this prophecy that they're going to uncover this cow that's going to be red. And
one
instead of
thing,
like letting it happen
one
that's a
naturally,
South Park episode. Come on.
one at a time,
no,
one
no,
at a
no. It's a serious thing. It's a serious thing. They have this
one at a,
prophecy. Well, all of us have this
no
prophecy.
one
Oh,
one idea at a time. Hold on. So you're
okay.
saying that
Well, let me just
hmm
let me just go with that. Let me just go with the red cow prophecy.
why
We believe.
that's gonna show us how they're awful people?
Well, let me give you the explanation.
But I'm looking for the explanation. I want to feel
I'm trying to show you an example of how they're prideful people, and you keep interrupting me.
prideful, prideful,
Prideful, prideful.
pride. Okay, go ahead. Hmm.
So we have this prophecy that we're gonna come upon these cows. These cows are red with no speck of white in them.
Okay.
And we want to do it naturally. We want to come across the cows. But Jewish people, with their
Hmm.
pride, they literally hired people to breed a cow to fit those specific standards. so they can euthanize the cow. Not even euthanize. They're going to sacrifice that cow, burn
Okay.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to destroy the mosque because they want to have they essentially want to fulfill God's prophecy themselves.
Yeah,
That's my issue with
but
them.
that's just the prophecy. They're just following the prophecy.
No, that's not prophecy. Like you going, oh, like this is like you telling me, oh, if you
You
run into traffic, you're gonna get hit, and
you
then that's
just
me
said
running into traffic immediately and getting hit
you
and
just
confirming
said
your idea.
wait a second. You just said it's a prophecy.
It
You
is a
said
prophecy, but
so
you're not supposed to force God's hand. That's my
what?
issue with them.
What do you mean
They
God's
want to
hand?
be.
What do you mean force God's hand? I
They
don't.
want to enforce it. They want to essentially force God's hand, and that's
How
my issue
can
with them.
how can you force God? Isn't God all powerful?
You don't think it's blasphemous to go out and find a cow and breed a cow for those specific traits?
But isn't that the prophecy? I'm sorry. Isn't that the prophecy?
It is a prophecy, but it's not. You're not meant to go around acting as God.
What do you mean acting? Well, I don't even know what that means. Acting as God.
Well, I don't think you really comprehend the religion, like the religious importance of that prophecy. It's a
Ah.
huge prophecy. I see it as sacrilegious, frankly.
Why is it such a huge prophecy? A
Oh my
cow
God,
is a huge
are
prophecy?
you a Christian or what are you?
I'm an atheist, but I can
You don't have
relate.
the context for it. You no, I don't
No,
think you do because if
no,
you're an atheist, you don't understand the
I,
significance of it.
I can relate. No, I can relate to
No,
big prophecy.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. But
What
like,
do you
yeah,
mean?
to me
You
it
know
seems
how
super
many?
offensive.
Hold on. Do you know how many cows are butchered every day on the planet?
It's a special cow, and like, oh my God, see, this is why I didn't want to say it because you're
Hmm?
just gonna like fixate on it.
What? Wait,
And
are
cows
you?
aren't sacrificed that often.
What's the difference?
How do
What you
you
do? You kill the cow. What do you? Who cares what you do with the cow
No,
after?
you don't. I'm not going into it. Okay, I'm just done
What?
with that.
I'm
you're an
sorry.
Adventist, right? So that means you're vegan?
Yes, I am vegan. It's not
Oh,
that you have to be vegan necessarily. It's that you just need to take care of your body as a temple.
okay. Sure.
How do you how would you feel about Israel if they're becoming less religious?
You
I don't
know,
know grammar.
I would rather, I wouldn't be surprised by it because they really don't follow the scripture themselves either. Like, just look up videos of how they treat Christian people that go on pilgrimages, especially the Hasidic Jews. They're awful people.
Yeah, but it's because of religion. Religion.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, it's religion to some degree, but it's also cultural. And besides, if you've been genetically wiped so long, you're probably super inbred, and you all share the same
No,
traits.
stop. That's
To some
nonsense.
degree, you have to admit it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like,
I
look up
know.
dogs.
Look, I know dogs are fine with it being
Dog breeds have
inbred.
dog breeds. Let me explain to you. Dog breeds have very similar traits amongst themselves. The same dog breed will have very similar traits.
Look,
So we can extend that same logic to humans.
I've
That's
seen.
a little I don't know cuz I read
It's a bit
when the theory of
eugenicsy, but
evolution
it's
came out
true.
there was no what they wanted was evidence of like, natural selection in action or evolution in action. So I can apply the same sort of skepticism here, which is, they are dogs, we are humans. Isn't there some sort of difference between us innately?
Well, humans are bred captive animals. We're not that far from dogs. Obviously, we're not both
Look,
canines, but I'm saying like
okay,
humans aren't that different from any other animal.
okay. One second. So I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm lost. So it sounds
I
like
don't know why you're lost.
What do you mean? It sounds like you don't like Jews.
I don't like them. I told you already. I don't like them. I think they've been bred awfully. I think they're very inbred. I think they have
No,
a
they're not. In
superior
fact, the
ego to them.
opposite is true. The rabbi makes it like a case, he makes it his point to control the breeding so no inbreeding happens.
Yeah, they have to control it at that point.
Okay,
Them and Amish people have a what's it called? A strong will to adopt, just so they don't hit the inbreeding curb.
I don't know. I don't know. I never heard of this
That's
thing.
that's why they adopt,
I didn't
because they
know they
can't
adopt.
maintain themselves.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
they're encouraged to adopt.
But they can't maintain themselves, but they
What?
run the
Do you
world.
know how related Jewish people are to each other? Ben
No.
Shapiro is related as cousins to the girl that played Matilda in the Matilda movie. They're all connected. That's why I say they do have a hold on power. They're very influential people. Am I saying they're evil people inherently? No.
Okay,
But I'm
I'll
saying they
agree
do
with
have an
you
aspect of pride to you.
that
Pride to
Okay.
them.
Jews run Hollywood, but that's about it.
Okay,
No,
okay.
they don't. They also run Mexico.
How did they run Mexico? I don't
The
think the
Mexico
Mexicans will
City,
let them, frankly.
Mexico City
the president
has
of
a huge
Mexico.
Jewish population. The president
The-
of Mexico became
Mhm.
was originally the governor. I mean, the mayor of Mexican City.
Okay,
And
guys.
even then,
Okay. Okay, whatever. You can stay here and talk. I think I'm gonna go.
okay.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Ex Caracalla, next time come earlier. I started the stream for you.
Oh,
I'm
I
kidding.
appreciate that.
No, I had
It's
you in
just,
mind. I rushed to start the stream, but I was gonna stream either way. Anyway, Sage, thanks for coming. You're terrific. See you guys later. I'm leaving. You can stay here. Bye. All right. So 3 hours and 5 minutes. That's a long time. All right, everyone. I just hope you enjoyed this conversation that I was having with all different types of people. For me, it was interesting. I'm gonna go now. Bye.